What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know, it's your boy King again. They are chat the damn thing again. And as you can see from the title and the thumbnail, people, we're there with another exclusive. You don't know, people, we're exclusive. Another exclusive we are dropped today. Easy me. We're supposed to be having a guest. And you can guess who's the guest by the title and the thumbnail, people. Easy me. You can guess who's the guest. But yeah, people. Wagwan. It's match day -1. So we're going to talk some football. And who better to talk football with than one of the greats of the space, you see me? So yeah, people. So we're supposed to be joined by one of the real greats in the football world, football world in the Jamaican football space, you see me? The man himself, the man that has won back-to-back Jamaica Premier League titles, you see me? 3 out of 5 Caribbean Cup champions of last season. You get me? I say, so it's gonna be a vibe, people. It's gonna be a vibe. People that's working, you don't know about pre-TV, we're just there putting this work, and we are allowed the work to speak for itself, people. You don't know, as a little YouTuber myself, we just go and put in this work and allow the work to speak for itself. But people, go on. It's a Thursday evening, match day -1, MD -1 to the people, you see me? So the boys them are show, so them ready up. It's a lot of things that go on, you see me? And as usual, we have to talk some football over here, people. But yeah, big up on yourself. We have a few things for drop as well. You get me? I say while we go and load the scheme, we have a few things for drop in the meantime, in between time, you know what I mean, people? In the meantime, in between time, we actually go and lively up the scheme until you don't know the guests forward. The guests will be here in short order as well, so we don't have a lot of time, by the way. So yeah, people. But people want to feel on the Thursday evening. I know say Elite Sports supposed to be on. You get me? I say Ryan FC, big up yourself. Easy me, people. But we are go and put in the work. You don't know, time is essential. And I got a specific time. You get me? I say we get a specific time. You don't know, time is money. Time is money. You don't know this thing already, people. But yeah, let's go and put in the work and make the work speak for itself, people. Big up yourself to everybody where they are from. Shirley, Giovanni, Da Silva is here in the building. You see me? Big up yourself. Big up yourself to everybody. All right, the guest just messaged me, so let's see what's happening. What is going on? You know what I mean? Because see what is going on. But yeah, people, please send the link. All right, let me just resend the link again. This is the link. All right, so yeah, people. I will have vibe. We talk some football and we are go chat some football, people. You see me? We chat some football with great people, greatness to the people of football. Yeah, people, I'm trying to move into more getting these interviews, getting some insights from the great minds them so them can come talk. The other day we had one interview. Me I try get as much interviews going into this World Cup campaign. I really just want to highlight some things from some experts, because as usual, people, even though we have knowledge of the game and we are content creators, the reality is that when we hear the football from the people them that actually is in at the football, at them, you know, so we can really learn stuff from. And people, if you know me, I'm a student of the game. I'm always a student of the game, so I'm always learning. You get me? I say so. Today it's gonna be education again, where we're gonna learn a lot of things said way. You see me? We're gonna learn a lot of things said way. And you see me? I guess we'll see what I go on. But yeah, people, on the feeling, match day -1, Reggae Boyz versus Curaçao in Curaçao tomorrow, knowing that if we get this victory, it takes us very closer to our target, which is qualifying for this World Cup 2026. So if we get that victory, people, I'm telling you, tomorrow, I know the saying goes that the next game is the hardest game, and that's a saying that proves true, or the next game is the most difficult game. But the reality is that this next game is what you call a 6-pointer, people. Tomorrow game is what you call a 6-pointer because, as I say, if we win tomorrow's game, it sets us up really, really nicely for the rest of the games. You get me? I say going on to 9 points sets us up really, really nicely. And I'm gonna actually bring up something in the meanwhile on the screen because I think that CONCACAF themselves dropped something. Again, people, I did drop a video to say that the permutations of how we can qualify for this World Cup, right? But CONCACAF also speak on it, where CONCACAF speak and saying that there's a specific way where we can qualify for the World Cup. And again, we know we have to take it a game at a time, and the ball of them really have to go out there and get it done. But this is what CONCACAF job today. All right, so people, we have a host there. We have a host there, and the host is right on time. The man says a man of time, a man of discipline. Big up yourself. Welcome to the show, Mr. Speid. Thanks for joining us tonight. I guess Mr. Speid have a bit of technical difficulties there, but he'll be back. But yeah, people, yeah, Mr. Speid seems like he had a bit of technical difficulties, so he'll be back. But yeah, people, let's talk about the CONCACAF. Put this up today. So CONCACAF saying that Group B, right? So CONCACAF pretty much spoke about all of the groups, but it did say Jamaica is the leader in Group B and could secure its second ever World Cup appearance during the October window. The Reggae Boyz could seal the top spot if they win at Curaçao on Friday and against Bermuda on Tuesday, but only if Curaçao loses to Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I did a extra math, and I know that Mr. Speid is good with the numbers as well. But blessings, Mr. Speid. Welcome to the show once more before me even talk about that. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, how is it over there in Curaçao? How is the weather? Because I've never been to Curaçao, so I don't know what it is like over there.
Hot. Hot.
Hot?
Yeah, it's hot. Hotter than Jamaica, I think. But it's good there. Yeah, well, it's good.
It's good, yeah, man. So, the boy, all right. So, we have to talk some football, Mr. Speid, as I say. You're on the show, and I did reach out to you and tell us that football we have to talk about. So, it's great having a great mind of the sport on the channel tonight. But I want to start here and then we'll go back because we have to talk about Cavalier, we have to talk about all things football because we're not just stick on one topic. I can't have you over here. I want to talk some real football. But as me say on this too, I think they missed out one thing, on this, because this is CONCACAF website that posted this to say that how Jamaica could qualify, right? And I think they missed out the opportunity to say that if Trinidad will also the second part of this say second place Curaçao will seek to take top spot itself. Bermuda and Trinidad and Tobago will also meet on Friday as both nations seek to keep. I think it says something around there to say that the Reggae Boyz could seal the top spot if they win at Curaçao on Friday and against Bermuda on Tuesday, but only if Curaçao loses to Trinidad and Tobago, which is not true, because if Trinidad and Tobago beats Bermuda, Trinidad and Tobago goes to 4 points, right? And if Trinidad and Tobago beats Curaçao, it goes to 7 points. And if we goes on to we still would automatically qualify. Because if Trinidad is on 7 points, we still would automatically qualify. So I think they got
we would not.
Exactly, but they have it right there to say, but only if Curaçao loses to Trinidad.
No, what really makes us goes through in that circumstances would be if there's a draw between Trinidad and Curaçao. Yes,
exactly. But sir, Speid, time for talk football, and first and foremost, I have to start with Cavalier FC. I have to tell you, big up for going back to back Premier League titles. Oh, you do it, man. What's the sauce? What's the ingredients? What are you doing over there with the youngest professional football team? What are you doing? How do you spot talent? That's the first thing more get into the mind of how do you spot talent? What's the number one thing that you use to spot talent and identify talent?
Well, we have a team, and a lot of people have this thing that Cavalier is a one-man band, but there's nothing further from the truth. We actually have 2 scouts that we employ, one in the corporate area and one in the rural area, and they would spot talent for us. We're like the United Nations, a team. We probably have a player from every parish in our setup. Also, So at that level, younger level, those two coaches would look for talent. When it comes to the under 7, when they are about 17 years of age, then the senior team take over, deciding who transfer to the senior team. And yeah, what we look for is skillful, fast, and can make a decision. Those are the first three traits to look for.
Okay. So when the players them come to you now at a younger age, right? How about the development side of these players now? When they spot the talents now, what goes into developing these players?
Right. So the team that has dominated for the last 5 years, basically, 'cause we win 3 second and a third. Um, that team, actually went to the Gotia Cup twice in that elite youth tournament, and we're in the elite youth side. We played teams like Deportivo de Alves, also Soledad, a lot of the teams, Saka, a lot of the teams in Europe we played against some good teams. At the under 15 level, that team would have beaten Tottenham Hotspur when they came to a tournament in Cayman. So the development of that team was very careful, very expensive, but opened the players' eyes as to what the next level is. And I think that is why we dominated for that 5 years.
Okay, so next question again, Sir Speed. What about gift? How do you identify gifted footballers? Because I'm trying to figure this out. Footballers, them born with the gift of playing footballers are their coach. Because the Lionel Messi them, they're just saying them and they're born for play football. What is your opinion on this topic?
No, talent is everywhere and it's common. It's not uncommon. Talent is everywhere and it's common. As a matter of fact, I personally believe that Jamaica have talent like rice grain. I have spoken to people like Danny Rice who won the under 17 World Cup with, I think it was, can't remember the team, Switzerland.
Mm.
When he sees our 15-year or 16-year-olds, he said, if I had these, I would win it every World Cup. And I'm thinking about people who come here and they are shocked to find the type of talent that Jamaica has on its shores. But talent isn't everything. Talent is just the start. I mean, talent is, is dime a dozen, as some quote said. There's a whole heap of other factors that you have to put in there to get this talent to come to the fore.
Come to the fore, matriculate. And while we're on talent again now, because I saw an interview recently where somebody criticized a player himself, criticized. I don't know you see that interview, like, I know he's a well informed. And a player himself criticized the Cavalier style of play to say, and then he was asked, and I quote, who played the ugliest football and him called Cavalier. So I'm like, I know I see you an interview saying that you can mix it up. So the real question is why Jamaicans or why we don't have a more possession-based system. Why we can't find that, or you think that will be happening in a few years to come when we actually build the system that you also spoke of, building a system through the youth academy coming right up? Do you think we'll ever become a possession-based team, and why you don't play possession-based as much? To have somebody saying that about your team. How comes?
I'm sure he's a joker because I'm sure he'll swap all of my tackles to play like me. But I know who it is and I understand. I mean, he has played for a team that haven't beaten me for over 2 years. I understand his frustrations. But the truth is, Jamaica does have a philosophy and a style of play. We just don't want to embrace it because it don't look good. Jamaica from 94. I can tell you from 94 since I've been really watching closely. Our style is we defend, and we play on the break. So we're more like a counter-attacking team. Also in CONCACAF, and this is a high-level study, the players in CONCACAF are they play what is necessary, so they are slow to react. So my team is versed on playing the transition game because we know that we are the second laziest set of players in the world, our region, right? So I know that if we're the second laziest set of players in the world, in our region, then it means that we'll only work when it's necessary. So once you're playing transition, you have an advantage right away because we are going to be reacting, and that's the style I've used for the last 5 years and being successful. And it's not just in Jamaica. I've done it all over the Caribbean. I've done it again in Inter Miami. And just with a little luck, I probably would have beaten them in the first leg. So there's the proof, right there that my style works. So why would I want to play a style that doesn't work? The other thing about football is that between the age of 7 and 14, those are the golden years of learning. You would tell me how much players between the age of 7 and 14 learn to play tiki-taka in Jamaica. So how are you going to play it afterwards when the players are not versed? So if you look all over the world, of course, Spain played, but they all played from their kids. Germany have a different style. England have a different style. Jamaica needs to embrace its own style. And I believe that, some of what we do is looking into the future to figure out what is best for us. And I think that's why we are successful.
Yeah, but you spoke about being second laziest, which is very interesting. I'm gonna say is a man with no left, no stone unturned. Have you ever researched why is that so? Why are we reactive? Is it genetics?
Well, I haven't researched the reason, but I know that's a fact because we had statistics from a World Cup, which we did look at who ran the most and all of that, and we came out second to last in terms of the amount of distances I had to run. So I just from that didn't ask anybody. I just extrapolate from that. Say, okay, so if we don't want to run, then mean if I play faster, I'm going to burn you. So I just keep on playing faster. And playing faster mean taking less touches on the ball.
Yeah.
So I know players who are slower and lazy are going to have problems against us. And I've gone to, we have even played a semi-final in the Caribbean Cup and we won 7-0. We just scared the daylights out of the team with their pace where we run at. So why would I want to tiki-taka when I can just breach a defense over and over and over and over and over? And we are one of the teams that scored the most goals in the league too. So I don't understand that summation of us. I just think they are wrong, and it comes because they don't have the knowledge, the required knowledge to make those type of statements.
Yeah. So you think that fans nowadays are just obsessed with playing that way because of Pep Guardiola? Be honest.
No, because I don't think so. I think fans are obsessed with winning, smart fans, because I've seen PSG play now. Of course, every one of them can keep the ball. Liverpool can keep the ball if they wanted to. But if you ask me, I must admit that we need to brush up some more on our position because it's not all the while teams will allow you to transition like that. So, because even the second leg against Miami, they made an adjustment with about 5 yards back. So I wasn't so effective doing it, right? So, team can counter it, but teams that play high up the pitch, you're a sucker for it. So you play it when you can. But yeah, back to your question, I don't. I know that in situations it's important that you can. I've seen Spain now playing in transition. I've seen them recently playing in transition instead of trying to walk the ball all the way up. So once people have knowledge of how effective certain styles are, I'm sure that they'll come around to play it.
Yes, because the reason why I ask the line of question here, I've always wondered why we don't produce more, I would say, more technical midfielders, for want of a better word. Because I remember listening to you speak about Richard King, and I think a lot of people misunderstand what you say, which may give you the opportunity to explain to them. Because when me explain to them say me make excuse and them want to hear from you. The Richard King, when you said Richard King, you told him to play centre half because we don't produce or not produce. What's the word you use? You can explain. We don't we call it when we send players overseas. We don't send a lot of midfielders go overseas. It's easier to make it as a centre. Why is that the case though? Why are we lacking with central midfielders?
Centre halves, wing backs, forwards, wingers, forwards. That's where our better bread and butter has been. And even when we send players, midfielders, like central defensive midfielders, they always end up playing centre half in their clubs. You can check the records. I think it's because of our football education, though. I think other clubs don't trust us that midfield, which is such an intricate position. We're there yet. And if you even notice, even on the senior national team, we still struggle to find midfielders. So it's not a Rudolph Speid thing. Is the evidence is right there in front of us. people don't entrust our players they're more entrust our players to play roles that is more physical um, than technical, and is the truth. Of course, there's some technicality in it, but if you look, we produce wing backs, wingers, center forwards, center halves, um, not much midfielder. So the comment about King was clearly, somebody had asked me, why don't I let him play central midfield? And my response was, no, he would not be special there. He's special at centre half, and I'm proven right. I think I'm proven right. I know him more than anybody else. I would have seen him play hundreds of hours, right? I would have played him in central midfield. And I still think he's one of the best parts that Jamaica has, but I still believe that at centre half, he'll be able to go overseas and earn a living, and that's why I kept him there.
Yeah. So do you have any hope for the future now? Because you talk about these players learning these skill set from a younger age, and you also on previous interview you talk about our system. We're developing a system, which you just say again that we need to appreciate how we have played. So the system that you guys are talking about, just so the fans them can understand, we won't be playing tiki taka in the next 10 years. So we can take a mind off of that. And the system is tailored to how the players are, which is going to be more transition. Or you just don't argue with the secret as it.
No, I am not going to be the one only who's going to decide what happens. I mean, we will come together and decide what is the best course of action. But just, I'll give you an idea.
Yeah.
So Mexico is the kingpin in this region, right?
Yeah.
But suppose we were to incorporate something in our style of play that we sure we are better than them at. And what do you think we are better than Mexico at?
Speed right off the top of it.
Yeah. So if we create a lot of foot races, what do you think gonna happen?
Yeah, we're going to
So
beat them up races every day.
exactly. So we must use that to equalize when we go up against them. Let them be fearful for their lives if we ever come into a foot race.
But,
So if you can create opportunities to get foot races, after battle one.
but oftentimes wonder this though. When we're out of position, right, and we need to win back this football against more technical teams, how does speed assist us with winning back this football quickly enough so we can use this football?
So some people believe that the game is to drop back in shape, but the truth is you must set traps. So it's difficult for you to defend the ball if the centre half can bring it all the way around every single time, right? Through the goalkeeper centre half. So you definitely have to put them on one side of the pitch. Then you press hard to the side. So you have to set traps. I think that is one of the things that we haven't mastered as yet. We're still a very, very young nation when it's come to coaching, Very young. Remember, 5 years ago, we only had 14 B license coaches on the island, and the rest were CR law. Now, a B license, which I was so proud to get my B license, it really stands for basic.
Seriously, the B is basic.
Basic means you have the basic knowledge of the game. So, and I was proud to have a B. And that's 5 years ago. Jamaica didn't have anybody except even our national coaches. They were below that. So everybody was asking, so why are we not winning? Are you crazy? We're talking about pro licensed coaches against us. So when we go overseas and everybody is saying, Jamaica look good. Yeah, you don't look good till them work you out. Then you die. After that, you can't do anything. And when, in 2018, I don't know if you remember this team that tried to qualify for the Olympics, which was when Alex Marshall, Maggie, Topi, Nicky Daly, really, we were saying that's a golden generation coming up, right?
Yeah.
And we played in a tournament, Olympic qualifier against St. Kitts. And we lost in Arnett Garden in Jamaica. And that was when I called some coaches together that was on the B and said, listen, we're going to die if we don't do better in terms of coaching education. And when I look at the St. Kitts bench, there was a person there that actually taught us on the B license, the basic license. So we were there proud of ourselves that, okay, 14 of us have B, Turk and Caicos Employ 4, The next one gone overseas, we reach now. No, we're not reaching now. We're B stand for basic. And then we said, boy, Jamaica not going to survive unless we chat up the coaching education. And from that, we formed a little group,
Yeah.
Miracle Garden, myself, Beard, Pastor Reynolds, and Xavier Gilbert. And we said, coaching education is it. We're going to get the coaches qualified one way or the other. I mean, so less than 5 years ago, after the pandemic, we started. You know what we have now? We have over 1,500 D license coach that is training modern coaching technique. We have over 200 C license coach, 100 B, and we're letting 50 A license and 4 pro license persons in the island now doing that course. That is where the transformation start to take place. So if you notice in the last 2-3 years, everything in Jamaica football changed for the better. Now it's gonna take time, we still think, maybe another 5 to years before we start to see the fruits of our labor.
Yeah.
But when we did the research for other countries overseas, we realized that if you're in Iceland, for instance, and the kids playing scrimmage, the 15-year-olds and the 13-year-olds, they're likely be coached by an A or a B license coach. In Jamaica, we're still struggling to make sure that is an A license coach coaching at the Premier League.
Yeah.
So you see, we are such a young nation in football in terms of development. It's not funny. A lot of people expect us to do a lot of things. Now, if you notice, in the last couple of years, in the Caribbean, we get dominant again. We win all the tournaments in the Caribbean and win some of them big 6-love. We drop those other scores start happening. 5 years ago, they were getting so close to us. We were just looking over our shoulders, wondering what is happening.
Yeah.
So that was one of the big things. So I'm expecting now with more coaches getting that type of qualification, you will start to see us producing much better players between the 7 and 14. Remember we talked about that age, and then Jamaica will kick on. But for now, we're going to struggle for a while.
So this is a teething process then. So people when they hear that the teething process, we have to give a little grace. Basically, that you're saying, right?
Yes, because go ahead.
No, because I think that as a nation, we're proud, and we're proud and we expect the most, Sometimes I don't think we appreciate where we are as a nation and where we are, just as a nation. So when you explain it, I think the people then probably can understand it a bit better. But did you dip in the schoolboy football this season, right?
Yeah, no, but Teachfield is a school that I go, so I help them. I'm Monroe, me and my friends them there, so I help them. But it's not coaching, It's from advice. Yeah.
Okay, because initially we thought that it would have been cool. That's why me actually wonder what happened there. So how was that? How was that working with the schoolboys in this season?
Yeah, I mean, you see, those are not professional teams, It's trying to build a program there. So it will take a while. I think it's a 3-year project. In some cases, it could be more, but that's really what we're working. And so Teachfield went to the round of 32. Monroe didn't. Monroe is in a tricky zone, but I thought that near the end of the time, Monroe started really playing very well. But we had some issues that we had to sort out, during the season. I mean, the whole coaching staff, had to change it out. So, yeah, it's a process. I think they'll be much better next year.
Okay. And now over to the Cavaliers now, because when they never defend the title this season, how did you guys cope with losing? So how much players you actually lose? Because we are all kind of different number that season. Because we know what the Jalmaro, the King, 12.
Yeah, 6 starters, 12. 6 starters. We lost Vino, Bartlett, King, Jalmaro, Kylie Avery. Normally would have started. What's his name? Busy. We lost Busy. Then we lost this guy here to college. Wooden. And we lost Barrett. Barrett is in Portugal. Yeah, one of those places. So those would have been the starters. But there are some other players that were sent out to get more playing time. So they are not there too. But it's really 6 starters we lost that would normally have started.
Okay, but why choose to be the youngest professional football team, though, Mr. Speed?
in the
What's
world.
up with that? Yeah, what's up with that? Why you go down the road there? And them say, remember, another saying is you can't win anything with kids. Remember, say that is the famous saying. I would make that saying there again. I think Sir Alex Ferguson, one of them did say that, make that saying. They're a great man. I don't want to misquote. But why you choose that road? Though? Why kids?
Well, the truth is, Cavalier don't have that amount of financial resources like some other clubs. I mean, we normally we don't even have a venue for ourselves. So you see when you look at football, to me, it was always a business for me, right? I've gone into it for it to become a business. So how you run a business, right? You keep your costs low
Yeah.
and you get people who can produce at a high level. So you look for talent. So I mean, I don't believe if you look on RJ and TVJ and CVM, I don't know if there's any difference in technology. It's just who have the best talent. So if you can get the best talent one place
Yeah.
and invest properly and wisely, then you get success. So we didn't want to go down the route that everybody's chasing down these players that they said are star players. We incidentally just always we just had so we develop what you call a policy for carrying players in. We have a scouting network. We spend a lot of money on youth football. But we said you have to come to the club as a teenager or you must be a national player. And we stick to it. And we kept our standard high because of that. So when teams are neglecting young, talented players, they know that they have a home at Cavalier. So that's how we start out.
So what were some of the major issues why you guys never was able to defend the Caribbean title this season?
Basically, it's hard to replace King and Busy and Jalmar. I mean, that's almost impossible. So, but I would take the blame for it still because I think I could have done a little bit better though. I think so.
Yeah.
I thought we would have gotten there because if you saw the last game that we had to win by 3-0, we could have probably won by 10-0. We just kept on missing the goals. So I take the blame for it. I think I could have done a little bit better. But this had to be a year that we actually um, start
Rebuild.
over, rebuild. We only had 4 players from the team that won in 2021. That was 4 years ago, and we only have 4 player leave. So we had to rebuild. We couldn't take the chance and try, to keep going. We just had to rebuild, and this is the rebuilding.
Okay, so two things now. So we see King and Jalmar both went to the same team. I listened to the coach's interview over there, and he explained the reason why he got 2 players from one team. I don't know the reason why. I think he was asked, but he was asked, and he was saying that based on their finances, he had to dip into the market the way he did, right? So, do you think that the Scottish League, do you think that that's a league where we can um, send more players to over there? I think it's a league we can target. And I want you to explain to me about the French league because we see the situation with Mason Greenwood and we hear all kind of story. And you know all kind of stories in the media say you get paperwork so only because being a Jamaican national can free up an extra spot in the French league. I did my research. I still think it's inconclusive, but I know that you know the answer. But the Scottish League and the French League, especially, I think are 2 leagues where we can be targeting more in the
So
future.
I had gotten another offer for King, right? But as I say, being a player who, when he left school, he could have gone anywhere. He chose to come a Cavalier.
Yeah,
I thought that, in the best interest of him, it's best for him to go to the Scottish League because I knew he would play after speaking to the coach for a couple, numerous times. I knew he would play. That
yeah,
to me was the most important thing for a player like that to play games. He could have gone to a championship team, but I know he would have been sitting on the bench. Possibly, he would have been sitting on the bench. And at his age, it's good for him to play for development. So that is the reason why, yes. And I didn't get a lot of money for him. I hear people talk a lot of foolishness.
yeah.
It's not true. We do have agreements for sale and though, but no, we didn't get a lot of money from him. But it was more important for me for him to serve the club and then move on. And it's the same for all the players at Cavalier. Once you serve the club that well, I am to do back something for you because, as I said before, and you said, when a young player comes to Cavalier and I go to their parents and say, parents, send the kid to me. I'm going to turn him into a star, and I hope he comes back and help his family. I keep my promises. The Kings, the you know the Calvin, whosoever, busy. All of these players, I would have spoken to their parents, and I believe that the most important thing is for them to go overseas and make them country proud and make them family. So that is the type of situation that we have at Cavalier. It's never the money. Jalmar was the same. The coach wanted somebody else from Jamaica. I saw the opportunity. I said, you know what, take the two of them because it helps. If he's there and King is there, they can support each other. I
Yeah.
think it's better for them. And that was how both of them end up there. Remember, I also did it with King and Atkins to go to Iceland. I
Yeah.
did marry both of them. I said, no, I take both of them. It less my hand though, in terms of demanding a bigger fee. But I
Yeah.
don't think that is the way to operate with young kids. I mean, they have their lives, ahead of them.
I say you basically you're looking at the greater good for the player and not necessarily yourself right there,
Yeah.
because commendable. That's commendable though. But in regards to the leagues, as I said, you think it's a league where we can have more Jamaican imports or exports in that league? And what about the French league with the
They're ruling.
with the
Yeah.
ruling?
So you're right. So King now is really depends on King. If Kings goes over there and set the league alight, then I'm sure they'll be coming back to say, okay, let us get some more Jamaican players. So Iman Jalmar, they are the pioneers now that can really help help our other players. So it's up to them. Yeah, the French league. Yeah, yeah, I really didn't know about that situation in the French league, but what I know is that you know leaving England and go back to Norway, we call those countries over there. So
European Union countries, the
no,
European.
the European Union. No, you go to um, there's a name for Sweden, those type of countries.
And a Scandinavia.
Scandinavian countries, yes. Now with those countries, it's much easier for you to get a permit to play in those countries than
Mm.
to play in England, right? Also, the French is somewhere in between, not necessarily as easy as the Scandinavian countries. They are somewhere in between. So yeah, it's a good market for Jamaicans to target. It's just that we just want to go to England all the time. So that's really the problem.
I figure because I make my own guess and I think it's the language barrier because I know that all right. So going to Scotland, English them talk straight off the bat, easier for
Yeah,
integrate. Going to France now, you have to learn French. So,
that's not true. A lot of people in France know English. You don't have more than three-quarters of the world know English, though. We are the ones that only know English, which is embarrassing. All
yeah,
other people them know, a lot of them know the English language. It's embarrassing that we, the English-speaking countries, are the ones that don't try to learn other languages. So
okay. So talk to me about me could go over the Reggae Boys now, the beloved Reggae Boys them. So you're there with the Reggae Boys them. I see you there, and what's the difference you can see being there with the team now, having not used to being there? What are you seeing now in your current role that you can say you can definitely spot some things? How was the vibe? How was the camp? How was the togetherness with the boys? And was it ready? How ready are we for the game tomorrow? Because we have a big game tomorrow.
yeah, I think you know we did a good job in selecting the squad. I think this is probably one of the best squad we could have ever found. I'm also happy with the all the squad makeup. This is probably the youngest squad we have ever put out for the last 10 years. And I'm also me and young players. I'm just happy to see
Yeah.
young players with all their hopes and dreams. Getting a chance to represent them country. I think them take it very seriously. So from that point of view, I am just happy. We still have a few players out on injuries, which I was hoping that those would be here too. So we really have the strongest squad possible. We have 26 players, and the vibe is so good that even players who can't play in the first game, like Isaac, is here, you know,
Yeah.
and and,
Casey.
and, we, and we could have asked Dujan to go to Jamaica and wait till we come back, but he's here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we put out all the stops to make sure that everybody is here. Um, being a one big family. I just left. They were there clowning around in a competition between young and old and staff. I just left them, after dinner. So they're in high spirits. Everybody's pulling together. We have ups and downs, but people not making issues be a problem. We just try and sit and solve whatever the problems are. So it's from I don't go to Reggae Boys a lot, just a few times, and sometimes I'm really working because sometimes I'm sent by the board to assess what is happening, with with us if everything is working fine. And this is one of the best units I've ever seen, both team and management and staff. When you look at the staff, everybody's trying to talk about football, get the team better. That's where all the effort is. When you look at the players, I must commend them. Look here, everybody knows that we don't have no money, and sometimes we don't pay them. This is the first set of players I don't hear a word about money. If you hear a word about money, is somebody trying to stir up something. The players not into that type of argument. They know that we don't have it, and them just come for work whether we have money or not. So whatever we can do, we do. So this is the first time I've ever seen it like this, and I'm just quietly confident that we're going to make it.
You're gonna make it. All right. So but yes, so we see affiliate a few extra sponsors coming on board, and I also see a report that we need more sponsors. So sponsors coming on board, but it's not quite enough as yet. That is what it's been saying, because I'm seeing that article as well. So is it that the team need more sponsors going into this campaign, especially if we make it to the World Cup? What's the situation with that?
Well, it's our business, So we always seem to focus on the Reggae Boy team, but we have 11 other teams. So the girls are going to the World Cup qualifier. They are almost as expensive as the boys. I mean, in terms of they are. So we need money for that. The under 20s, the under 17, both under 17 team, their qualification is coming up early next year. So we don't have enough money. We need more money all the time. But the Reggae Boys is the group that earns majority of the money for us. So whatever happens at that stage, we have to try and maximize it so we can, ease up the rest of funding that we have to deal with the other teams.
Yeah. So how have you seen your value added as the newly announced technical advisor? All right. So how has it been a lot different now, and where have you seen where your value has been added in this current role?
I shouldn't be telling you that. You should look if you see anything.
No, we don't want to speculate. That's what I'm here. We don't want to speculate.
No, but I don't know. I take my work seriously. So all the knowledge that I have, I would impart it to the coach, both for local knowledge and and players that it probably they don't aware of their abilities. I would say I would impart all of those knowledge, but it's still him who makes the final decisions.
Yeah.
And all I can say is that I'm satisfied with the amount of advice that I would have given him, the amount of percentage that he would have taken on. So I'm satisfied, but I don't want to divulge too much into all that takes, because he's the coach. He has the final decisions there.
Okay. A lot of persons were asking a question about the coach in terms of, is he signed to take us into the World Cup, or will he be at the World Cup, or the contract is to take us to the World Cup? Because I think that was a misunderstanding that was going around.
No, it's just people want to have mischief. If they listen to me when the coach came, he's the one going to the World Cup with the team.
Going to the World Cup with the team. Okay, I'm glad we cleared that up. As it relates to recruiting now, because people still on the topic are, when is the cutoff time about recruiting or this or that? How you guys look at recruiting, and as it relates to keeping the squad together? Do you think that recruiting will cause any issue in this campaign from your understanding?
I think players are much more knowledgeable now. I think there's a bit better understanding and acceptance that players, we don't have this thing where the local and overseas. I don't see that anymore, and players understand that this is a new generation. They understand that if you're not on top of your game, you might get cut. So yes, you want to keep the nucleus of the team because you don't want to be starting over all the time. I think we have done a good job in keeping the nucleus of the team together. I think everybody that is here, except a few, who would have burst through like Seymour, Reid, Ian Frey. All the rest of players are players who played for us before. So there's no stranger here as such. I think players understand if they're not performing, they could be left out. And I think this coach has emphasized that over and over to say, we're not here to make your career. You need to make a career and then we'll pick you. And I think both himself and Algrims, in some respect, would have set a certain discipline in our team. Like, Algrims would have said, listen, if you come here to strike, don't bother come, because I don't care about you and the JFF. You come to play. He would have started that type of language with the players. And this coach would have continued it. And I think with the expert advice, because he has other advisors who will advise him and stuff too. I think slowly you see, before people were wondering what was happening, you can see more cohesiveness now, more decisiveness, that type of thing. I'm seeing that in the team, and it's coming out in the results. So I think we're onto a good thing right now. That's what I think. I think we're onto a good thing, and we just need all the support we can get. So if a player rises and start to perform, yeah, I don't see no reason why we shouldn't pick him. I think we should.
Definitely. But how do you sum up the boys' performance in the first round before we come to the game tomorrow? In terms 6 points out of 6, professional display. What went into the preparation of that team and the seriousness that them take the game and coming out with 6 points after 6? Because yes, I know a lot of people, including yourself and myself, we say that this is possibly the easiest group that we got, but the players them did really have to go out there and stay focused and get the job done, and we still have to go out there tomorrow again and get the job done. But the preparation behind that, what went into that preparation to get us here now?
So the group might be easy, but the matches are not. So they are two different things. Yes, you could look and say a group with Costa Rica would have been harder, but I'm telling you, the matches are not. Look what is happening in that group where Suriname is leading. There's no easy match. If you ever believe that you can win anything by turning up, I'm sorry for you. You're going to make a big mistake. You probably can't correct it during the game.
So if a Bermuda 4-love was a difficult game.
No, well, we did. All right, so you ask. So for the game, we were like meeting like about 2 months before the game. I went to all the games that they play.
2 months.
Yeah, research everything. We know everything about them. Even probably what they eat for breakfast. We research everything.
And I hear that, people. It's a high level investigation.
Yes, man. Yeah, research every single thing. We research everything. We know what their weaknesses were. We know what their strengths were. And 2 of the goals was scored based on just research alone. Or 2 out of the 4. So it takes a lot of work, and people who are determined, and the team got stuck in and was determined to find what they could find. As it relates to Trinidad, again, the research was, significant.
So when I meant to play them offside 3 times, it was excellent defending.
No. That was one of them was really low, smart, very smart. The first one that King, had to go low. That was low, though. He was very smart to just step up in time. But no, we know that they are good on the ball and extravagant. So those things we knew, but we also know that we could hit them, with pace. And that's the type of work that goes into get the team here. There was technical specifications, which, as I say, now my person would understand, but like we knew where every player point would be when you'd either have to sub them or where they're going to start laps, that type of thing. All of that research we had, and it was, we had it on paper, so that's why everything was so smoother, like technical specifications. So that's why it looks so professional and flawless. Yeah.
Okay. So going back a little bit, because I didn't want to gloss over your achievements, because I know say he's a very modest man. Come here, just glass over the achievements that they're nothing. But getting Messi to Jamaica, that was in my young lifetime as a fan. That was probably one of the greatest accomplishments them I've seen a team did so far. So I have to say big up to that and I have to take the time out to stop the show and go back to that car. That's not supposed to be something for us walk past. But was it planned or was it a dream? Did you vision it? Where did you expect after winning the Caribbean Cup and playing? Did you vision it? To be honest, did you vision it?
We actually wanted it to happen from the year before when we came second, or went into the round at 32. So we're trying to get past Cincinnati, but I mean, we still complain that, I think we lost unfortunately in Jamaica. When we went to Cincinnati, it was below zero. We were cold. We couldn't, I mean, it was really rough and they beat us up. But we wanted to go past that round to get a chance of the Inter Miami. So from the year before, we were saying, Inter Miami, Inter Miami. So we said, listen, we could try and win the cup. So we're going to the second round because that would enable, give us a better chance to play Inter Miami. When we saw the draw, I'm telling you, we were so happy. We didn't. That is why we played them. So we didn't care. We decided. Listen, this is what we wanted, and we're going to play them. The way we played them in the first round. So it was kind of willing to be. I would say, the whole team wanted Inter Miami, including the players. We didn't care what the score was gonna be. People were saying we're going to get 9-0. We didn't care. That's what we wanted.
So you think players were starstruck? Be honest. You think players were starstruck, or did you guys have to do some extra psychological work on the players them to play that game?
Again, they were starstruck, but by the time we get around to playing Inter Miami, all my players knew them like the back of their hand. So that's again we normalize them. That was the plan to normalize them. And again, as I said, we break them down. We know what everybody was going to do. Normalize them, wear them, go for holidays, all of those things. We just normalize them. So if you notice, that's Alan Mark Busquets, and he did a very good job on Busquets, because we were talking Busquets to him for like weeks. Remember, it's Busquets, best central midfielder in the world.
Of him generation.
Yeah, but that type of talk. We look at the defense line and we say, Jalmar, them not fast like you. Busy, this a your game. That type of talking. El Pistolero, Leng, you are El Pistolero.
Put him in my back pocket now.
Yes, right. We go through that, but El Pistolero, days are done, your time will come. That's the type of normalization, and we're beating into them. That is why there was no fear when we played against him in the first round.
Yeah, and the first leg, guys, I was at the first leg. I don't know if you recall me being there, but I went to the
There was
first.
no fear. And I also thought that them should throw away VAR. My stance on that. I think VAR were, yeah. But also after that we got a hands and they didn't go for VAR for it. Remember that hands in the box that they never go. So VAR chooses when they want to work. 'Cause I'm sure if they go for VAR for that, we'd get a penalty. So
they said, short VAR, you're not for VAR.
that's a VAR for that shit.
But yeah, all right. So talk to me a bit about the business of football, because some people don't understand the business of football. And as you said earlier in the interview, you recognize that this is about the business of football and not taking it personal. So I know that you would have replaced some of the past players them with new players coming in, and it's strictly about business for you. But how do you view like the business of football in terms of like getting in new players? How do you view that?
Right. So you mean for Cavalier?
Yeah.
Right. So we if you're looking most of the Manning Cup and Da Costa Cup, we'd have some players spread out, over those two leagues. And we kind of quietly don't interfere with the schools during the school period. We pick up the players, after the Manning and Da Costa Cup finish and bring them in and pay them until June. So one of the things that if you notice, if you saw Chelsea the other day, I mean the amount of young players, PSV, Barcelona, it's a growing trend. Young players are doing exceptionally well, and they have value because they are the ones that they value, not the older players. And also, based on what we talk about, the 7 to 14, those players that have, learned the craft there. But at 15, 16, they need to start play against high level competition, or else they'll not progress. Yeah, even Dakar Cup and Manning Cup is really a grassroots league, you know. It don't do nothing for a lot of kids, because imagine you're 19 and you're playing against a 15-year-old. Most teams have half of the team is 15 and 16-year-old and you're 19. That's not going to help you. So that is why we try to make sure that we get our players in at 15, 16 in the Premier League team. What we do would give them game time. They would be cheaper because you know they're not really looking at salary. So
Really?
you're,
Oh, they're not looking at salary at 15 and 16.
they're not.
Are they can they actually they can't sign pro contracts at that
Yes,
age?
yeah. In Jamaica, you can sign a contract from your 13, but your parents have to sign too, and the contract has to expire at 18. It can't go over 18 there. So Jamaica laws are like that. So they can sign, but remember, if you sign a pro contract, you can't play in the Costa Cup or Manning Cup. But they don't
Okay.
allow. ISA don't allow professional players in their league, so you couldn't play there. But so when we bring them in at that age, they are like costless. I used to be frustrated when the parents used to call me and say, Mr. Speed, where's my son? I said, "You calling me from?" But now I get to appreciate it because I know where that kid is sleeping in the night. He's in his bed sleeping because his parents is not allowing him to be on the road going to parties, etc. So if you look at the business side, everything is just right for you to use the younger players. Every
Yeah.
single thing. Cheaper, they develop a better age. You'll be able to send them on to other clubs in the future. And so when you look at the operating costs, it works for you. The parents give them 3 meals a day. They don't have baby mothers and they don't have to tell them that's the dopey story. They don't drive no car and there's a car breakdown. The excuses are different. You can call them parents and say, "Parents, where is your son?" Him not at training, Mr. Speed, I'm going to call him now. That type of reaction, it just suits you to operate in that environment with young kids.
Yeah, so who are the next players up now? Because we see you lose a bunch of players, we just talk about them. But who are the next one? I heard they talk about Robina Garden and we left one name again.
Robin
No, no,
Agana is not with me.
no, you left back, Where you left what name? Because me I make a
Oh,
point.
oh, oh, the best player that I think
Yeah,
one of the best players I know is Christopher Ainsworth, yeah.
Ainsworth, because Ainsworth scored a special free kick out that day.
Yeah.
But I heard you come on record to say Robina Garden Ainsworth is the future for right back and left back. Remember
Yeah.
you actually said that, right? So in regards to who's up next, because we see that why me a blank? The centre half that took over the captain armband. They
Olen.
said Leng, why me a blank? Me I say Ming. Yeah. So Leng took over the centre half. So who's up next for you? Because we know you always have you must know the projection for the players up next. So you say
Yeah, yeah.
Ainsworth and Leng is
Ainsworth,
up next.
Leng, yeah, but we have Michael Forbes who used to be with us, went over here, but he has come back to us.
Yeah.
Denzel McKenzie is a lot of talent. Needs some fine tuning, which we're working on him.
Yeah.
We have we have some players that actually play for Excelsior.
Aggie Animo. That's my alma mater, by the way. Big up Aggie Animo. Big up Aggie Animo.
So 7 to 9 of those are mine.
7 to 9.
Yeah, are
Like
mine.
who? Like who? Call name, man. You can't. My school that you have a call to name.
No, me
Give me
not
at least
calling them. If you watch them, none at all of the star are mine. You just look at them, they are mine. Every single one of them, right? So you're going to have at least 5 of them are going to bring in the Premier League.
Okay.
Idel, the top striker out there, that's mine too. So, I mean, we have some players, and then, Tikaros at JC, that's mine too. So, yeah, we have some really top players that is going to come in. But some of those that excel, so they are like 15, 16, and they're mashing up the Manning Cup already. So, yeah, I think, I think they probably could go as far as winning it, but, a lot of those good players, you say, they are mine. So I have to make space for them in the Premier League squad. So that's what I'm doing.
Yes, Aggie Animo can't win it this year. Well, I mean, if you got some more match then, man. Like what you said, I make sure I'm going to some more match.
The goalkeeper that you have there, that's my goalkeeper. He has been with me for 3 years. He's like 17 and he has been keeping in the Premier League for 3 years. He didn't get a lot of game, but he's there in the squad all the time. Travel with us overseas when they go in the Caribbean Cup. So, the future is bright for us.
Yeah, so you said the next generation is coming through. So as it relates to the league though, because you guys do this every year, right? Every year it is like where's Cavaliers, and you actually go on record to say that you just want to get into the playoffs. So when you can win it this year, yes or no? When you can when you can retain on the title and go three-peat,
5-star loading.
5-star loaded.
Look, I have 30 odd games to work it out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing now. And I'm happy. I'm in top six already. I just need to stay there. Meanwhile, I'm working out what is my best combinations for the playoff. And then when you come to the playoff, we do what we have to do.
Okay. So going forward now. So in recent days, I saw that you guys are involved with FIFA. I think some appointment with FIFA. I don't think it has been official. I don't know if it's unofficial. Was it made official?
Yeah, I have my letter from FIFA. Yes, it's official.
Okay, so what's the situation with that? Because what exactly is happening right here?
Well, I was named to the FIFA Technical and Development Committee as a member. I am not sure though what they are going to require me to do,
Mm.
but whatever it is, I'm sure I'm up for it. So I'm just waiting.
Okay, so you don't know the role and what it
No,
entails.
because they have different technical committees are really a high level committee, one of the highest you can think about. But they do have different subcommittee in there. So I'm not sure which one of them will be serving up.
Okay, okay. All right, so to the game tomorrow, because I know that may take up a portion of your time, because you did say you're giving about an hour, though. I will
Yeah.
go a bit
What do
over.
you think, man? I mean, you might not see me again because I hardly do interviews these days. So do you
Yeah, all right. So we can ask a few questions because all right. So a lot of people are asked about the. So the first question: improvement of the stadium. What's happening with National Stadium?
Yes, government, but you know, slow they are. So they said they're going to improve it by next year. I personally don't believe they should. I think we should build a new one, if you want my opinion.
Build a
A,
new stadium.
a football stadium that's whole and it not conducive for modern football. We struggle with stuff, like when when the get breakdown when Messi came, we were trying to people literally push it down,
Yeah,
I mean, and then when we were trying to ensure the security of the Inter Miami team, people was walking in the tunnel because that's where all the VIP walk. So now there was just a mass confusion in there as to who's supposed to be in there and who not supposed to be in there. It need hospitality room, it needs whole heap of things. That need to just that can stay there, but we definitely need to build a football stadium.
yeah. So you think there's space? Are you guys have ever identify somewhere where we can actually build a stadium? Because building one is one thing, but identifying the space to do so is another thing. Can we?
Government government won't never land. So the crown won't never land. So it's government. They can if they want. And a football specific stadium is not so much land as when you have to put track around it and all sort of things. So there's came on us. You could build one there. All for place you could.
Okay, all right. So Jay Hummingbird, because I'm trying to take a few comments from the comment section.
Sure.
In regards to our midfield issues, you think where is the midfield? Because she asked about the midfield issues in terms of finding a solution to that. You think we are closer to finding solutions in midfield?
Yes, I think with better coaches, it will happen. It's just that our coach education for the players. I don't want to say make it sound disrespectful. The truth is, some of us couldn't find talent if it even hit upon us. So how we all know this player is suited to play midfield? You just don't know. So now, with better education and you have talent identification courses and those things, I think we are in a better position to find the players who are more suited to play in the midfield. And I think in the future we'll get some here.
Okay, so this is another question right on cue about who you think are some of the players that can help to provide those solutions.
Provide what?
So the question on screen, right, from Tycoon. Tycoon is asking which young players you can see in the future that can aid to providing some of the solutions that we need in the midfield.
I don't know. I don't want to, call players' name, but the truth is, as I said before, because of the education that we have now in Jamaica, which is vastly improved over what we had before, we have more eyes now searching, right? We're also with the National Academy
Yeah.
that we establish. We have 4 scouts on the road searching every day for these type of talent. So to point out anybody now would be unfair. Let us do the search first, and then we see what we have. Because what we're noticing with the scouts, so we go to a team. The team is awful, like get 9 love. But there's always one player on the team that is uncanny good. But we have always just didn't look at those players because we never have the right systems in place to find them. And the
Yeah.
players not leaving their school, so don't think they're leaving it. They're not leaving because that's their school. So now with the scouting system, we start to find some players that we never look at before. Look at our under 15 team.
Yeah.
That's one in
Winning.
the Caribbean. Yeah, there were some players that hey, look here. Nobody know about those players until they were in Trinidad, giving Trinidad 6-2. So yeah, it would be wrong for me to start to pick. We need to just look first.
Yeah, the 2 Kelvin Browns them. 'Cause I don't know how you guys managed to produce 2 Kelvin Browns in one team. Like
Exactly.
and I met the ball of them now and manufacture them. But
No, remember I
you
tell
need
you, sir, we have talent like rice grain. We just never used to look at them.
okay, when they need to keep that when they need to keep that team together. That was a really I think that was one of the teams because the under 17 before that was really disappointing doing Sir Speid because I think that would have been in all our opinion that would have been an easy passage to the World Cup, so we could have been a
Yeah, it
good
was. But
year.
getting Seymour without title alone, I think we achieved some.
Yeah, well, see there you find the positives. Conrad Smith is saying, King asked Mr. Speed why you don't. All right, so them want to hear from somebody about Ravel, Daniel Johnson, and Tyrese Hall. And I know that for me, no match tomorrow, so I never really want to focus on it. But you can't give them want to hear from somebody. So we have to make them hear. Ravel, especially Tyrese Hall and Daniel Johnson. Because Daniel Johnson, for one, again, would have been doing all the prerequisite, getting all the minutes over there in Turkey, right? I know he's 32, but still a good age, still playing at a high level, right? Tyrese Hall, again, I think the coach would have spoke about Tyrese Hall, but just one here. And Ravel Mars. So those 3 midfielders again. Cause we love a midfield, so them
Yeah.
ask those 3 questions.
The
So
truth is, those players have played before for Jamaica. They are not, well, 2 of them basically play a lot.
yeah,
There's no secret there, right? But at the end of the day, um, one of the players, I don't like to talk about player like that, but the truth is, what we did was look for players who were playing
yeah,
frequently at a high level, a level that we can trust, and pick them. So you'll always find players that people believe should be in there. I mean, it happens everywhere, in every single country, not just Jamaica. Brazil, I mean, look at Brazil, Neymar
yeah,
situation. So it's not something that we want to talk about. We look at everything and we put everybody in the pot. But at the end of the day, there's a finite amount of players we can pick, and that we did. We thought these are the players that could do the job. So I think you have to get the coaching staff like slack if they pick players and they do the job. Instead of trying to say other players should be there, because we all have to make decisions every day. Even our personal life, we have to make
yeah.
decisions that sometimes unpopular, but we think is in the best interest of the team. I think that's what.
So I don't think all right. So for most people, I'm kind of engage them. I'm engage with them more. I don't think it's about not they not being there. It's about if we're still looking at them because like a DJ, then DJ getting all the minutes and playing at the high level. So there's still a possibility for a DJ and the Tyrese Hall, which is probably the most informed player of at our disposal. Like those 2 that are getting the minutes, especially, they are not being overlooked. Are they? We could possibly see them in the near future as well, right?
But yeah, I think so. This one was kind of a tricky one because we
Yeah,
had to play on a synthetic pitch. And if you know about synthetic pitch, is the lighter players and the younger players who is best suited for a synthetic pitch.
yeah.
Lighter and younger. So if you have well-defined muscles or you're
Oh,
heavy, you
yeah.
probably won't last. A synthetic pitch is like when you catch chick-V or
Chick V,
yeah, you remember what chick-V and or you catch well, that's one name.
chicken gun, yeah. Yeah, they have chicken gun, yeah.
Yeah, what it do it to
COVID.
your body. No, sorry. Remember what it do to your body. You see synthetic pitch,
Yeah,
what it does, if you have any little weaknesses, just like well, that's one we have name. will come.
COVID. And a
COVID. Yeah. If you have any little weaknesses in your body,
Yeah.
when you go up on a synthetic pitch, it fine it. Especially when you're muscular and big. That banging is almost like a concrete upon, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that banging rough by your body. If you have any little injury, trust me, it will go find it. Just like when you have COVID, if you have any little thing where your body not strong, you find it. That is similar. So when you're picking that team where you know so you have to play on those type of surface, you have to be careful to who you pick because you can have issues with the players. So some of that went into picking this team. That's where we are.
Yeah, and again, sorry for asking about individuals because again, me have been
Yeah,
around coach.
that's why I'm trying to avoid individual and just kind of explain to you general.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna think the people them understand that, but me, is it true? Me do some interviews, me understand it, and me do a lot of research. But as I said, but in general, so no player is
No,
no player is being turned away. Every player still is within a chance.
but the players need to help themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, but certain teams, you kind of have to pick a certain way to play certain teams.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's for courses kind of thing.
This for courses. Because them a cost me, you know. They must say, me not ask rough questions them, but me not see no question.
Now you can ask me any question.
I saw them do I say,
Yeah.
is it? So me I try look for the question them, but I'm most about individual. It's about individual players.
Yeah,
And them
which me not really want to say that neither, because I can't be quoting those things about players.
exactly. But
Paper and actually. But I can give you a general idea of what.
okay, so all right, let me give you a general. Let me quote it in a general way. Then. So I think a lot of people talking about the goals in the team, and to be honest, we have a lot of good centre forwards. I think the watch list, that famous watch list, about 17 forward the depth on the watch list. You know? So we have a whole lot of forwards, but as it relates, we have a few forwards that are really scoring a lot of goals, and people are asked for them. I guess they don't want to talk about individual names, but they're still within a chance, right? Because all right, I have to call a name Trivante Stewart then, because people is saying Trivante last time we see him now is probably the hottest forward we have. And people are saying, how him not get a look in, etc. See, me never want to call a name.
He was looked at, you know.
He was
He was looked at, but
okay.
I mean, remember again, people, when we only have 23 spots, right, to put on the match card. We really pick 26. Even some of those here can't go on the match card, you know.
Yeah.
So when you're carrying Trevante Stewart, then you probably need to ask yourself, then who we have to drop out to. Yeah, it's not like we can carry 100 persons, you know. That is always a factor. Who would take back out of the team when you're bringing Trevante Stewart. So, you know, Borrell is playing at a high level. You know, Kadimatri, everybody say him is Dan Burn 2.0. Oza is one of the only players we have that score more than 20 goals for Jamaica. He has been doing his thing, and young Seymour Reid is the future. So, you know, you can make a case for a player, but then you know you have to make a case for somebody else to drop out. So it's not easy to make these decisions, you know. But at some point in time, we just have to make a decision that we think is best for the team.
Yeah. All right. So the most famous name in around Reggae Boyz football for the last, I would say, couple years, Mason Greenwood situation. Anything you can tell me on that situation? What's happening there?
Mason not ready to play it. When he's ready, I'm sure he'll tell us. But I can tell you this:
Yeah.
if me have my way, I don't care when him say I come, I take him.
Okay, so if I even next year March, no, if I even
Me,
June,
yeah, I don't care. So I don't want to say thing they can go and say. I don't care. Any DM say that boy no normal here. That's
you
not a normal player.
more you explain it to them because I've been banging on this drum and people say me keep on telling them that Messi is a generational talent. But you in your words, put it in your words. You say I'm not normal, but explain who is a Mason Greenwood. Please, because people don't understand.
Okay. I spoke to him when I'm agent him
Yeah.
years ago. I knew him wasn't ready to commit fully yet, based on what I heard.
Okay.
Him, him, based on his ability,
Yeah.
him could help transform our team and excite a generation of strikers by playing for us. This is not just him playing for his sake, but if he plays for us, there would be a generation of people who want to represent Jamaica just because he's playing for us. I'm not talking about overseas players. I'm talking about the local young players. You know, if you were in the stadium when Messi came here and watched the amount of young kids that came to that match, you would be shocked. I'm sure there's thousands of them was in
Yeah.
the crowd. And you can tell what they wanted to do after that day. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking that Mason could have the same effect based on the ability that he has.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's ready to wipe off his chances that he'll be able to play for England. And I think we have to
Okay.
just be patient and wait on him to make that decision. If any of us was in that position, we would have probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
And so you have to have empathy and understand how people think and see what is best for them. I think though him reach a stage now that it don't matter which country him play for. I think
Yeah.
it not gonna affect him financially in any way. I think before probably those were considerations. But look, as I said before, if the deadline for our work, if we go work upon deadline for our work up at tomorrow and him
Yeah.
come and him up here today.
Yeah. That me what here, that is what me what here. Me no business. Me say level 59, and him
Yeah,
say level 59 is there.
man.
And you
And
think,
because we have to think long term because we have him for 2030 to come on, people. Just
yeah,
think. Yeah.
yeah, but you think that the players would understand though, because people also talk about the replay effect and talk about 98 World Cup and about how players reacted to when some players got brought in and some players didn't make the World Cup spot. You think the players will eventually understand if that is ever to happen?
I think so. I think this generation different. I think so. I think they would also want to play with him. I mean, somebody would be disappointed, but that's all life is. And but I think that everybody would be happy, and in good spirits. This is really a good player. This is really, really a good player. That any team, almost every team in the world, I want to make sure them have it. So
Yeah.
I should be any different. I'm sure any team in a CONCACAF, he would have played for easily. And they would do the same thing and swap in birth paper if they could. So we are we are here
They're
saying
blessed.
exactly. So we have to play the game just like how everybody is playing the game nowadays. People are brutal. Other nations are brutal with the game.
Yeah.
Trinidad now open up. Curaçao don't have one player who was born in a Curaçao on the team. Not even one.
Mr. Speed, then must say me do me after this me you give him a show. Where you have to talk that man. You
Right.
see, now me attack it and now you attack it. But go ahead. You're
But
right.
I make sure I do my research, man. You ask me what we are do, or we are the work. So if you look on France team, it wasn't a French team. I mean, the whole of the team that win.
MC
It was,
Africa FC, Africa.
yeah, right. And everybody brutal with it now. So
Yeah,
we're going to be left behind if we start have these whole heap of feelings and carry emotions, decisions. No, we can't have those feelings and emotions. We have to go business we are dealing with.
yeah. But as I did mention the watch list now, Sir Speed, because I think the president and the coach also made mention of a few players that should have been coming to the island to get them paperwork sorted out, namely the Rico Henrys, the Maxi Irons. But yes, we brought in Seymour Reid and Ian Frey. But is there anything happening? Why these other players have been slowing down? Because I think we'd expect one or two more of them yet, but nothing happening behind the scene that is slowing down the process, right?
We're doing everything from our point of view. So, these things are complex, it's not so easy as people tend to believe. Sometimes the players have issues, other issues that stop them from coming, like contract issues. They don't think they're playing well. They don't want to leave their clubs and go somewhere else to play when they haven't secured their position in there. So these are such complex issues that some of the time. So we
Yeah.
have to just help work through all of those.
Working through all of this. Alright. And, so the game tomorrow, cause me make sure stop. The people them say me nah ask the hard question them say me a sugar coat. I try for do my best with the interview. So I stop, I'm looking at comment, I'm gonna see them ask nothing. So all them say me not ask hard question. Them still can't find the hard
No hard
question them
question
know.
to
So
ask.
yes, I saw people still me still have to
Yeah.
try look for the hard question, them I can't find them. So me still have to try make a question. What the match tomorrow? Cause we know we have ball game to play tomorrow and we have to focus on that. Now the Curaçao team. I remember when we get that group here, yeah, people say swoop group, and I thought that under my breath. But they also said that the Curaçao team would have been our biggest challenge. Now we saw where Bermuda actually went toe to toe with Curaçao in a Curaçao yard. So it's like for we the fans we kind of say, Curaçao not so good man, but how good is Curaçao?
That would be a big mistake for anybody to think like that. So, I mean, even when I'm at Cavalier and we see a team get beat up the week before, and we are say, okay, maybe it should be easy.
Yeah,
No, no. The Curacao will never play us like the way they play Bermuda. Never. So it's two different game totally. You know the sayings, a game of two half is not a game is two half. Trust
yeah,
me. It's not even what that game that is against Bermuda, they will never play Jamaica like that. No way. So take that out of your mind. So the results there don't mean anything.
yeah,
So they're gonna approach us much different, much more carefully, much more circumspect. So so we have to be thinking of all the possibilities that they might come up with to play against us. So we went through all of that and we're prepared, and just waiting for the game. And even when you do that, you might not be able to. Things could happen that just change the whole complexion, of what you're expecting. So yes, they are a very experienced team. They have some good players in there. Chong not playing, which is good because he was the one who scored 2 goals against Birmingham and have an assist. So he's not playing. He's injured. He's out. Yeah, that issue is out for 4 to 6 weeks. He was the only person who was born in Curacao on the team. So that's where we are. But I think, some of the time you can't be too concerned with trying to get the team get the better and you just bog down with trying to read them all the time instead of we just have to do the things that we can do good,
yeah,
you know, and and be adaptable when you're playing. That's really the key now for teams. You must be adaptable and can respond to things that you may not have seen before. So I think that's where we are. Players in good spirits and waiting for the game.
yeah. And I know a lot of people is concerned without Isaac Hayden tomorrow, but um, without giving away any secrets about the starting level, you think that we'll be fine in midfield because you know that is the problem now is a speed. Midfield. Without Aiden, we the truth is without Aiden, the record show for itself. And the record
Oh,
is
he's,
with
yeah,
Aiden now
he's
without
really
Aiden are two different
yeah,
teams. But you
he's
think we're
really
close
good. He's
but you
really
think we're closer to bridging that gap now, finding solutions without Aiden?
Yeah, we have a solution because you know that players, both midfielders out on card. So
Yeah.
it's not
Him
like we
and
can
King.
be pretending that we don't have a like, issue there with 2 of our starting players. Yeah, but I think we have a solution and I think it will work. So
Okay.
yeah, we're confident that it will work. I wouldn't be worrying too much about that. I mean, we have other strong parts of the team, defense and our attacking players further up the pitch. So we have to use some of that to compensate. But I think the players that came in made the team a lot stronger. So we should be okay.
So here's a hard question because them say hard question I'm gonna ask them. Ask him if we're aware of Jamaican fan base in Curaçao, guarantee 400. So how is the Jamaican fan base in Curaçao? That's a hard question.
Even,
Still, I
even
try
when
to find a hard question. There, but
Yeah, when I was at the hotel, I see some Jamaicans say you should pray, and yeah, sir, you should pray and make sure to win the game. I say
yeah,
we, and them say yeah, we. I say okay.
yeah.
This stadium is sold out already, so
Okay.
it's kind of beautiful. I'm not sure what the capacity is, but yes, there's a lot of Jamaicans here.
Yeah.
With, some flying to watch a game. But nowadays, they say the truth is nobody care about the players. Don't care about those things. If nobody in the crowd cheering for them, they are more professional now, and I'm going to go out there and do their business. We know what we're going to be up against our style crowd, so I think we're ready. And these players are experienced, and we are against big in front of big crowds that shouldn't affect us in any way.
Okay. Can speed. Ah, all right. So somebody said, can you sign Ravel? But you think Ravel Morrissey can ever come play some JPL? You think we'll see
Sign
the
Raven,
like? You think we'll see the likes of Ravel Morrissey in the JPL?
I'm not signing. So I don't know why the person will ask.
Oh, because of
My
the age.
my 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 thing is you must be a teenager. Well, he's a national player. Let's remember, or a national player. But yeah, I wouldn't sign him. No. I can't afford him.
Yes, you can't afford him. Yeah, but we're talking about affordability because the other day it was business house and like me, I'm bridging them the reason about business house and they're asking me a question which I could answer. But we did some research and we were told that a few clubs nowadays don't allow their players to play business house. And I think your club was mentioned as one of the clubs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my version that asked me if the players are being paid well enough for them to not play business house. And I'm like, I don't know about that. But what goes into the thinking behind not allowing players to play business house where them can make the extra money and the compensation for that? Because if you say you can't play the business house, I understand say it must come from you might get injured there and you have to take the thing more professional. But wouldn't that be like making some extra money playing the business house?
Yeah, well, that's fine. They have a contract with us and we pay them during the off season. So
Yeah.
I am not I don't care about you making extra money. You have a contract, I pay the whole year. Mean you must not play in a business house, you must only play for Cavalier alone. Plus, they pick up so many bad habits playing in business house. They're taking all the corner, all the free kicks. When you have this quality player, then pick up so many. They want to dribble the ball because they think they are the star. By the time they come back, them set back themselves months, if not years, and it's a problem for teams that really good professional teams when these players come back with so much bad habits. So we just forbid our players from playing. There's a risk of injuries. Then when the Premier League start back like in August, business goes on till September. So they're playing trying to hide and play during the week too much. A lot of issues now. We don't allow our players to play in the business.
Okay. Black Prince asks Mr. Speed the exact role in the team and does he have an input in team selection? I think the coach already answered that and to say yes, but you can
Yeah.
answer it.
Yeah. I'm advisor, which means I advise on everything, but the decision is the coach's. At the end, the coach made the final decision.
Okay. Players contract, Reggae Boyz players contract. I think you did make mention to that in terms of some players coming and not worrying about the pay, but how is it as it relates to the Reggae Boyz players contract right now?
I have an
The
agreement.
you have an agreement?
Yep.
Okay.
No, nothing to see there. Nothing to see.
Nothing to see. Moving along. Have an agreement, nothing to see. May I find a hard question them, King Fred
That's
Farm.
the hard question, man. That's the one that they hard question.
That's a hard question, but business
Yeah.
hours. So where the hard question, them still try to find them not ask the hard question. But yeah, will Frey be playing midfield? No one we give me not think Mr. Speaker answer that the night before.
I mean, the answer. No answer.
Hard
We
question.
can't give it. Look here, people. You have to understand that players have peculiarities in every player. If me know you're starting 11, we can tell you what kind of brand of football you're coming to play now, or what is most likely for you to play. If me know who you are going to start, we can start to figure out your formation and everything. So Yeah, I know you want to hear still, but think about it, people. What you're trying to do is help the opposition here. And you say,
That's
yeah,
true.
reggae boy fan. All right.
Me I try to figure out the hard question them. Ask about the girls. Alright, so a female ask about the girls. What going with the girl situation in regards to what about the reggae girls? Ask about the girls. Ask about the
The
girls. I'm
reggae
asking
girl,
about
the, yeah, the reggae girls is going to go to Trinidad in the next, for a practice game before we start in the competition in November. I think the coaching staff in place, fine tuning the reggae girl squad that got to Trinidad will be one of the best squad that we have. And there's a few more that is not on it, like the college girls, because they don't get permission to leave the college system. But otherwise, from that, reggae girls things is on train, and we're looking forward to for a three-peat.
Speed, what's going on with Stein? Him really in a funk, Stein. What's happening with Stein?
Come back late from training. Come back late. Join the training late. Didn't get to put in some of the preseason work. I think that he's struggling from that.
Mm. So we see where Gray was the only player that left injured. What about the fitness level of the squad though, and in general, the fitness level of the squad? Because Gray was the player that left injured, right?
Which Gray?
Demar, we have more than
Oh,
one
oh,
Gray.
Demar Gray.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's in. Yeah, no, sticking at somebody. All right. No, he's injured, so he's out. He can't play. So I think he flew back the day after. He
Okay.
came on Wednesday. I think he probably flew back. So see him Wednesday or today.
And he was replaced with Whisper,
Fitness,
right?
fitness, right? And what's the person? Whisper is here.
Okay. Yeah, he does a fitness. I think he give away. So
No, I'm saying fitness for players. It depends on what your definition of fitness is. If it's the ability to perform a task like finish a game, and that is really left to the player and the club to make sure that the player is in that type of condition, because we don't have enough time to build fitness for players like that. They only come to us for 3 days before they have to play a game, and then another 3 days before they get another game. Fitness don't build in that short space of time. But if you're talking about like injury, yeah, everybody here is fit and ready to go.
Okay. Rob Stoner is asking about Dixon. If you see Dixon can play a free role in behind the striker and not on the wings. If you see Dixon as that player that can play that role.
Sure, it can.
Sure he can. Wayne Wignall, King asks about why our midfield and attacking players.
Do have hidden talent in who can play other positions.
Okay. So Wayne Wignall is asking this. Well, King asks about why our midfield and attacking players don't tackle and track back, which is our biggest problem. Do you think that's our biggest problem? You agree with Wayne Wignall, and you know why?
I wouldn't say they don't. It depends on the role that they are given, because every players are given roles to perform.
See, this is another individual question again. What do you think about CFAS? I think these people who are beat me not understand asking about. Go ahead. What do you think about CFAS?
CFAS, one of the fastest players in the world. If you want to know what I think. Hello?
Yeah, man, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
CFAS is one of the fastest players in the world. And CFAS has scored some extraordinary goals and has made some extraordinary crosses if you look at the Unity Cup. So CFAS is one of those players that important to the Reggae Boyz squad. And if you look on his record and not try to look on other things, he's a very impactful player. For the last couple, since he has been back in the squad, he's a very impactful player. We're happy to have him all the time.
Okay. Big Head Boy is asking, does Ravel and have any personal issues with the JFF?
No.
No. Biru
It's
is
not that I
asking,
know.
not that you know. Okay. How will the World Cup money be used to help? Which World Cup money? We don't reach World Cup yet, but you might. Let me see me answer question. How will the World Cup money be used to help grassroots program?
I'm sure, if we go to the World Cup, which I'm hoping, and I think we will, of course, there's expenses, but after that, yeah, it will trickle down to the grassroots, to the parish, through the parishes. That's usually what happens. Everybody get a share of whatever is made from prize money. The board will share it up in some way and trickle down to the parish and the clubs. So that will happen.
Sir, we have Coach Stanley here, so if you tell the boss, say me hail him up, Coach Stanley. Long Coach Stanley, and long Coach Stanley say I come for the show, and him can't have any time himself a big you up, but him give me the soup
So
and
him
the
can
players.
tell you him can tell you the Excelsior
Tell me,
word
give
for
me a
you.
few names, give me a few names. But Damali Williams is no. Them can't hide Damali Williams. I go on one name. Damali Williams, him are the man.
Yeah.
People. Him are the man. But yeah, him say big up yourself.
Number 10. Cavalier number 10 as the league finish. Him chatting over to Cavalier in number 10 road as the league finish. One of my number 10 then. So that's one, yeah.
Okay. So somebody's asking, the issue with the YouTubers and the JFF the other day, including myself, I was very disappointed. But what was that about? Not getting a pass. Come on, Mr. Speed, you know, so me I come ask some good question. What happened with that?
Well, first of all, I don't know nothing about marketing. Me stick in my lane, technical and finance or the JFF. I know nothing about marketing. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I think everybody's view should be heard, although some YouTube are toxic. But everybody should be heard, and I don't think we should lock out any YouTuber because publicity is good, and I think deep down everybody want Jamaica to do well. So I'm going to, nobody never, as you really asked me first, no other YouTuber ever asked me about it. I've heard about it, but I really pay it no mind.
Yeah.
But like what you said now, we're going to find out what. I'm not for them to lock out YouTubers. I'm not for it.
All right, so somebody asked a real good question.
But you can understand though when some YouTuber just go overboard, call people pull up on names and somebody need to stop it still without proof.
Yeah, but I just look into it because again, it's like a good answer for the bad kind of situation that end up happening with that. So I guess you have to look into that.
And that should not.
Yeah. Still I try to find a good question then with them someone asking. Cranky there. Cranky not asking a question, he's just shaking his head. When I ask the good question then I try to find it. So like yeah, but the game tomorrow, we could just look at the game tomorrow because the people them might be king. Please ask why is there midfield? Ask this already. The man asked it already. Midfield is not tracking back. Ask Mr. Speed if he approve the gameplay since we got. Ask Mr. Speed if him approve the gameplays since he got his new position to oversees everything. The gameplays, tactics.
My advisor is the coach decide what happens.
Ask how Whisper look, how 4-4 kick like Whisper look. How him look? When you see him not training as yet, how him look?
No, he wasn't able to train. He came after the session, so he's just here, but he hasn't trained. We train in the morning, not the evening.
Okay. But we're not training morning per match day?
No, we train this morning, not in the evening. So right, so that was the last session. So he wasn't able to take part.
Okay. YK Unique asking, what do you think about the level of the pitches in Jamaica, and do you think the pitch affects how the game is played in the JPL?
Definitely. it's when I go to like Trinidad and see the amount of good pitches that them have, I'm so ashamed because I mean, truth be told, how much good pitches we have? Like probably three, maybe four if you stretch it a little bit. So
Mm.
with 14 Premier League teams, 10, 11 Women Premier League, and 16 Tier 2 teams, it's bad. Infrastructure is really bad in Jamaica and we need to do better. But I don't know if that is a short, that is even a medium term objective. I don't think it will be fixed in the medium term. It more like that will be fixed in the long term, not even long term, but long term. Because it's so expensive, no club can really afford to fix the field. No club, based on the structure we have right now. So it really will need government intervention to fix those fields.
Okay. I got another text message,
And that
Chris.
is why we decided.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
And that is why the JFF decided to go the route of coaching education. It's one of the cheapest way
Yeah.
for us to deliver something that is world class and able to get the players better, because infrastructure is not something that we can compete with against the rest of the world for now.
Okay, so yeah, this basically is a question that somebody texted me and asked about the midfield. Like, what, since we have this major midfield issues, why isn't there more focus on creating or developing midfielders? Why has that not been a focus, seeing that that's the area where we're lacking the most?
As I say, I mean, you have to have the persons to do it, which we didn't have. So now we start to train coaches um, who will be able to get that going. Because, I mean, if you just think back how we used to coach in the first, most time is 11v11. People didn't know how to pick out a unit of the team and say, I want you to operate like this. Now people have that expertise in Jamaica. A lot of the coaches are being trained that way. And I expect in another 3 to 5 years, you will start to see good midfielder emerge. It's just going to take a little while. If you're not doing something for years, there's no way it's going to just come up and happen overnight. So that overnight change won't happen. I think it's going to be at 3, 5 years, probably even longer, before we start to see real midfielders. Now, I wanted to say this. When there was a time when Jamaica could produce a Herb McKinley and a Merlin Otti, and then, but they'd come world class 1-1, one every 10 years, then a Safa came. But GC Foster actually trained a lot of top class coaches and sent them out the country. What happened? Top class coaches all over the country, working in PE, working in high schools. All of a sudden, you start a track program that's developed everywhere. Then we start to have world class athletes all over the world, beating the world in different disciplines. It didn't come overnight. It took a while, right? Poor cricket don't even start with coaching education. So that is why they're getting a battering. I'm not go upon cricket people because they must us, right? So I'm going to leave cricket
Them have
alone.
a claim. Them have
But
a back claim.
right. But I go back to those examples. So football is in the same place. We soon produce world-class footballer because we have world-class coaches. It is a process. Those midfielders that you're talking about, they are on the island. Good. It's just that we're not able to bring them to them true potential. But it's coming. And we just have to be patient until it comes.
We're not able to bring them to their full potential because the coaching resources.
Coaching, we never have it. The coaching never have the knowledge. They didn't know what to do. Remember what I told you about our coaching now. 5 years ago, we only have 14 B license coach on the island. We think we're good, but that stands for basic.
Yeah.
So until we put B license coaching at every school, we now get so we turn over every stone. We're not gonna see what we want to see yet. So until we put them in every school and then A license coaches become up, we start to have coaches in schools too. and expose more players to these people who knows what to look for, knows who are the real midfielders, and start to train them, from a young age of 7 up to, as I said, the golden age of learning is between 7 and 14. It won't happen. So it's going to take a while.
Yeah, so
We have to just be patient.
quick fire. Ask Mr. King if he's going to ask Donaldson back to the Reggae Girls.
No, there's a coach there now. I heard that rumor, not true. There's actually a coach in place, Mr. Busby, and he's the one coaching the Reggae Girls at this particular point in time.
Okay, so ask Mr. Speid if he thinks the Curaçao pitch will give us any problems due to it being smaller. I think smaller and the synthetic.
Yes, it will. As I said before, a synthetic pitch is difficult for people who have well-defined muscles and are heavy. It's hard on them, that pounding on such a tough pitch. The players who will excel more will be the smaller players who are lighter, and the players who don't have those huge muscular formations. So yeah. So you can go through the players that we have that might struggle, and for yourselves.
What the low asking, why we play so much long ball?
Who?
I think Jamaica.
Jamaica is not schooling. Jamaica is not schooling playing tiki-taka and playing through the lines. We're not schooled like that as yet. So it's a process. It will eventually work out itself, I think. Once we get the right players to play it. You can't get up in the morning and decide to play tiki-taka if you have never had the technical knowledge and the technical preparation. So, you have to play where you have to play. But what you can play.
About the assistant coach, what's the name of the coach that's there now? Is he the assistant coach or is he giving assistance? I think I don't remember his name. So there's a new addition to the coaching staff.
We don't have no assistant coach.
What's his name?
Oh, you mean the latest one is Richard Artis. He just came back. He was with Richard Artis. He just came back. He was with us before. I went to Turkey and he came back, so he's there now.
Oh, so he's what exactly is his role? Not assistant. We don't have an assistant coach, you say?
Right. No, he's the goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper.
I don't know if you can call it. Richard is the goalkeeper coach, really, but he was the assistant to McLaren when McLaren just came, so he's back now. But his specialty is a goalkeeper coach, but he used to work at Manchester United with McLaren, so he was the go-to man. There are other people have joined the staff since for different roles. But I don't know if there's anybody that is named like the number one assistant coach now.
Okay. Well, going for Russell. Russell a better 8 or 10 or honestly Russell's role. I think Russell's best position in the team is.
I think his position is what he does, score goals. I mean, so whether that's his role. But we look at him for score goals, and he has done a good job so far since he has come.
What, 4 in 10 or 5 in 10?
Whether it's a 8 or a 10, it don't matter. It's position.
Yeah, definitely.
He is the one that we look for to the score goals. His movement is so good, and he can slip in behind the striker, whenever the striker is a little bit out of position. I think he's just magnificent. Yeah.
Okay. A coach asked me about if we'll see the return of the under-17 program. Which under-17 program at that? Ask coach if the JPL under-17 tournament will return next year. That's a question.
I don't know. That's one of my failures which I'm struggling with. There's one year we had we did some good things. So as you know, we did the Women's Premier League, we revamped the men's, did the women's, we did the championship. We do our national academy, club license, all of those things we have done over the last 5 years. But the one that I think I would have failed on is the elite youth competitions. That one is a problem. So we did play the JFF All Ireland under 17. It was really good. We're supposed to do the 13 and 15 because you need that elite youth competition. But for one reason or the other, sponsorship, timing, we haven't been able to get it. So that Carla is right. I think that is what is missing in Jamaica, that elite youth competition, because at the under 17 level, even if you're in the Premier League team, you might not get enough games. The schoolboy games is just not enough. So we're working on it and we hope for it to return next season. So that's really a good question and it's something that we must do to progress. So yeah, I think it will be back next season. It wasn't played this season.
Okay, and also this question Shane is asking. I think I saw today where there is a new U20 coach. We have a new U20 coach, right? I think must be somewhere.
Right. So it's not a new 20 coach. What we did was we name out the slower coaches for all the youth teams under 20, under 17, under 15, under 14. So we have
Okay.
all those youth teams, both male and female. So that's 8 teams. So what we did was name the coaches for all of those teams. Yes, that was done. Rudolph Austin is doing that now. What we have done is name all the coaches are Jamaican born, coach, trained to our coaching school. That's where we're trying to get the philosophy going. So that is our plan. For that was to happen, and we're finally able to make it happen. All the coaches are A license coaches, they're doing their A license badges. And we feel confident now that Jamaicans can take over those teams and give a good account of ourselves.
Okay, and that would aid in the preparation for the U20 and U17 World Cups that Shane is asking about, right?
Not just no, but we start. You see, unlike when we used to have under 17, starting when the kids are 16, we actually have a national academy that plays under 14. So we have under 14 team, national team, under 15, under 17, under 20. So the preparation, we stop trying to do preparation weeks before the tournament. The preparation will be years before. So that's where we are now, to get the improvement that we want. So like the under 15 team that used to win the Caribbean thing, they played as under 14 as a national team before. So this is not the first time they are running out on the pitch as a national team, So that's what we're trying to do now. So this under 15 will go on to the under 17 in 2 years' time. Of course, we're picking on a 16 team right now to play next year in under 17. So that's the type of preparation we're stepping up towards, And we see where it will help us to be better at the game.
Black Prince is ask Mr. Speed if we should expect any new addition for the next game or next round of games, either one, and who those players might be. Can we expect new additions going forward?
For the next game? No, not for the next game. I think we have about 27 players now. We only need 23. So for the game in Jamaica now, there will be no addition to the team unless we have significant injuries. And if that happens, probably just a local player step in to help with the training, etc. If to get about the numbers, but there will be no new addition for the next game, the Bermuda game. But for the other round, everybody have a chance.
Everybody, and I hear that everybody have a chance. I try to find some tough questions in Mr. Speed. You can't say I never try, and them can't say I never try. Ask Mr. Speed if his new role allows him to pick players. Let her recycle again.
Yeah.
Go ahead and answer the question. I don't know what them say my answer.
No, I advise the coach on everything. Coach has the final decision.
Ask him what are the
and all the people were saying I was going to pick all of my players, but I'm not supposed to shame. There's not one Cavalier player in the squad. Not even one.
How comes?
Because I'm sure the name came up. But this is World Cup. We're trying to go to the World Cup first time in 27 or 28 years. There's no time for joke. And the other thing is that my records never speak to that. You believe that with the smallest budget and the youngest professional team in the world, I could win those titles by cherry picking players? No, I always have to put the best ones who's gonna do the job. I would never win these titles if I put players out there who I just like.
Yeah.
So my record was never that. So coming to the national program, I would never recommend a player who I think not gonna be able to do the job. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'll never recommend a player who I don't think will be able to do the job. And the truth is, at this stage, is not a development thing. This is the World Cup we're trying to go to. So we have to just pick the best players available.
Okay. Somebody text me and ask about the progression through the youth teams of having local bred coach. If the vision is to eventually have local bred coach at the senior level.
Well, if you look at the stats, te- teams that are coached by coaches who is born in the country, they run and qualify for the World Cup is about 57%. So you don't have to ask yourself, Christian, what is best for your country? Whenever we think we have people who is capable to do it, yes, they will be in charge, yes. But for right now, we don't have anybody capable to do it.
Okay.
And
Hear
one of
that?
the, and
Honest,
one,
honest answer that. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
and one of the other thing is that, we found ourselves having a coach coaching under 14, a different coach coaching under 15, a coach from another country coaching under 17, a different coach from another country coaching under 20, a senior team coach from another country coaching the senior team. What you think gonna really happen to a player who's trying to come through the ranks every time him switch? Him have quality every time him switch age group. He's on to a different philosophy and a different person, a different language and a different accent and you see what is happening to that player. So we are trying to get rid of that, and I think the more we get rid of that, is the more we're able to come up with a playing style and a philosophy. So that's what we're working towards. It's not new. Spain do it. All the top countries do it. So we're trying to go first class. So,
I think that's Ian Birchnell. That's the name.
Ian, what?
Ian Birchnell, the assistant coach. I think that's the name. Ian Birchnell. Is Ian
Yeah,
Birchnell?
yeah, yeah. As I said, I don't know if he's the first assistant, but he's assisting. Yes.
Okay. Ask Mr. Speed if he feel comfortable work with Ian Birchnell, the assistant coach. You
He's
feel
good.
comfortable. He's good?
He's really good. Yes.
Okay. Ian Birchnell, that's the name. I try to find a hard question them. No. Once you come off of the interview and I start take some call, you hear, boy king, be a sugar question you ask the man, you not ask him the hard question. And me can't see. Me I do a fear, me I go through the comment section, you know. Ask Mr. Speed if we should expect any new addition for the next ask it already. Oh, 17 times when I ask that to people.
Everybody eligible, just in case.
I try to find that question. But yeah, because the minutes I got I guess I don't know if I go past 3 more minutes or 2 hours that but in regards to tomorrow's game, what can I expect from the team? Okay, what should we expect from our dearly beloved Reggae Boys?
Well, I know that every player going to give 100% once you put them on the pitch, and that's all we can ask for, right? Them give us 100%. I know that every player going to try and find a way, to get the 3 points come back to Jamaica. So, and that's the only thing we can ask for, that capital effort from them. And if we get that, if we give that, everybody, coaching staff, players, everybody pull together, I think we can. This is the most consequential match I think Jamaica's ever played in our history. This one. Win this one, all of us smiling coming home. I mean, any other results. I mean, a draw is not the worst thing that could happen to us, but really and truly, we really want to win this game. And I think this is the most important match the Jamaica would have ever played. I mean, from its playing international game. So we just have to put our best foot forward. I think everybody is up to it, though. I can see the camaraderie and, everybody pulling for each other. I just think that, we should be able to do it.
Yeah, Cranky, you can text me. The number is on the screen. You can text me so I get it. I guess Cranky want to ask you a hard question.
Yeah, well, Cranky can ask me any question.
Yeah, text me so I can, because I'm not going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link, everybody, if you want to jump on the link. And Me can't go bother see about people right now. So text. Um, I actually have my producer backstage. I don't know if you want to ask a question for you, cause me no want to say, me no want you hear the man say we might not see him again anytime. So why the scarcity though, Mr. Speed?
You know, sometimes I'm busy, and the truth is, you have some people really take pride in so you know my issue, right? Everybody thinks I'm conflicted and all sort of foolishness. I'm kind of glad you asked me that question so I can explain it, right?
Yeah,
No, me have a problem. You come off of my ability. It's fine. Are you think so you can beat up my team in a comeback? It's fine too. And some people talk, but we know talk is cheap
yeah,
because you know something I deal with you when you come on the field. So you can always talk. And my achievements is there for everybody to see, right? So when them can't beat me in achievements, them start to attack my reputation and come with some innuendos. And and then the people who jealous of me just keep on whispering them in the dark. Because to be honest, nobody not come in front of my face and say these things to me, you know. But the
yeah,
truth is, you have a lot of people in Jamaica who have more posts than me. I'm just Cavalier and the JFF. You have people who have wholly more posts than me in football. The problem is that they're not successful, so nobody not come after them. I have even when Captain Burley was there, I had more posts in a football than that I have now. Because I was like on competition, technical, finance, education, infrastructure. I was like, these presidents put me on all of these in these posts, right? And nobody would say anything. That Cavalier was in the fifth or the sixth tier, Sid Bartlett below Major League, that's where we were. Nobody didn't have an issue. As soon as the success start come, them start to talk all sort of things. Them start to talk all sort of things. But them can't go against the success. I've beaten teams from like Tottenham Hotspur in competitions overseas, Scotia Cup, Caribbean Cup. Those are international competitions. I've had international appointments. I was a president of volleyball. I don't know if you know that. I was one match away from going to the Olympics, in the
mm,
beach volleyball. Yeah. I was when we have the Commonwealth Games, which is the biggest game except for the Olympics. I was a chef de mission for that, chef de mission for Pan American Games. And so it's not just football I have achievement. People ask me for the stuff, and if I have a time, I do stuff. Um, so people a lot of the bloggers tend to come off from a reputation. They don't even know who I am. I've never spoken to them before. And I need to tell you this, right? So um, I am not against people criticizing me. Just don't be unfair. Because there's other people doing worse than get
yeah,
making money off this sport, and I don't, and they don't criticize them. So I must tell you this: I am a chartered accountant, right? People know. So I am a fellow. I'm affiliated to ACC in England, ICAJ in Jamaica. These people monitor me when I'm doing accounts. They monitor me. I can't do anything cheeky in here and nefarious in that line because they will just throw me out or carry me up into discipline, right? I am the managing director for a credit union, which means that I have to um, do a fit and proper to Bank of Jamaica every year. So these other people monitor me there. I'm a trustee in a billion dollar pension fund, not million, billion dollar, which means I have to report to the FSC every 3 years, right?
mm,
For JFF, I have to sign the conflict of interest register and lay out all of my conflicts and that. I'm the sporting director of Cavalier, so all of that go to FIFA, right? I have to club license. I have to tell them all of my business, everything about Cavalier, who are the beneficial owner, all of that is laid bare. I am what you call the most supervised person in the whole wide world. You hear me say? I am the most supervised person in the whole wide world. I have to file all of these things and I don't miss. I file them all. So then when the people them come with their insinuation and they, because they can't go against my achievements, them can't beat me, so them try. I know see it. If I'm all these conflicts, why did the FIFA appoint me to this post? And I'm appointed to a CFU post for audit and compliance post. So you can see, oh, I am not against people criticizing me, but why are you being unfair to me? And I'm one of the most scrutinized person in the whole world. I can tell you that. Definitely not Jamaica, right? Because of the stuff them on me do. So I just say, you know what? I have tried to explain this to everybody on all the programs. Take a lot of time explaining, say, no, what you're saying is not true. But them still, utter these things. So I just say, you know what? I know worth my while I come on these programs because it don't make no sense. There's no value if you continue to do those things. So even though I had to resort to suing people, which is something I really don't want to do. And so I just decided, say, you know what, I'm going to just leave the media.
I never like that one day, Mr. Speaker. I want my fellow colleagues, so I never like that one. They say one of my fellow colleagues them got involved.
I regret it too. You see, people not tell you certain things are the same person. You see, I see them like Montego Bay. Now I have nothing drive to come home and tell me play them, each up, go and care of the particular person. I'm not against anybody. But if look, I have family to like everybody else, and if you keep on telling lies on me, my daughter is a liar, what do you think she's gonna do eventually? So you have to talk to the persons too and say, maybe you shouldn't do that. Or I say, just take it down. If you publish something on me and it's not true, I'm gonna say, take it down. Just take it down where you lick up your chest and I go and say it's true. So then defend it then. So that's it. So yeah, ask about me and me are the problem. What do you think?
Yeah, Cranky, welcome to the show. Big up yourself. First time I see you over here. Cranky, I'm gonna address you first before you address Mr. Speid. This is the first time I ever see you commented over the show. I know so watch the show, but big up yourself. Cranky, a legend.
No, actually, I was coming from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I couldn't text any question because on the road I just got into my house.
Okay.
I'm gonna say me have to come on because Rudolph hide from me from a long time. So I have to come see him.
Come my
program. So I'm not inviting him to come from my program no more. Him ban me, so I'm toxic. Him ban me.
So when I try to tell him, I have to not be toxic. All right, I'll remain untoxic. Me go on.
No, I watch your program and it doesn't mean I comment, but I watch it. There's no comment by mine. I mean, I understand that. Most YouTubers don't comment by each other program, but they watch it.
Yeah, that's true. But got you, because I say me ask.
So me have enough. Why? So the question them, they're not family. It's come at the top of my head, right?
Yeah.
Me I go from the people I asked before. So Rudolph, a number of questions come to mind. Everybody asks about the midfield, which is a fair question, right? The midfield hasn't played well for the numerous number of games. Have not played well. You just mentioned Russell and his goal contributions, and the question is, what about the rest of his game? But that's not my question. Here's my question. We have 7 midfielders here now, right? 2 can't play because of cards. So we have 5. And for the 5 we have there, most of them are not even playing regularly for their clubs. Don't you think there's a concern for the midfield going to what you deem to be, and I totally agree with you, and I've been saying this for a while, about the importance of this game. And don't you think there's a concern about the midfield? And in addition to that, why wouldn't we bring in Tyrese Hall or Janair Johnson when we know, as you and I have talked about historically, we lack midfield. And these are young kids like a Seymour Reed, where we need more supporting midfield than forwards. We have 9 forwards. We have 5 midfielders now available for this game. So why wouldn't we go midfield versus go forward?
I don't think we have 9 forwards though. But
1, 2, 3. Yeah, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
3 winger,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah,
the one,
8 versus 5 midfielders.
The one is important. So I mean,
fine. Yes. I mistake.
but look here. And you're right. Quantity never make up the quality. I mean, we're struggling for quality midfielders, and they're just not anywhere to be found, So, one of the things we have to do is structure the game to negate that, and that's what we've been doing. But I don't want to give it too much still, but that's really what we have been doing. But you're right. The people don't get called for different reasons. Some of the reasons we just can't talk about them, Cranky. And you know,
okay. No. If you can't, if that's look, if there's a rationale as to why, but the people, because on my channel they asked this question: Tyrese. I heard German on the phone talk about Tyrese, about he's well valued at Tottenham. We know he's at Nats County. We know he has scored goal. We know he's a box-to-box player. You and I have talked about this. We're lacking quality midfielders. He appears to be based on potential, quality. We're bringing Seymour Reed. No against the kid, 17, start MLS game. That's a want, not a need. The midfield is a need, not a want.
You see, Cranky, when you're probably right about all of what you say, but then you have to look at how people look at the game. I mean, we have been accused too many times of letting some of the young good ones
True.
pass by, you know?
Yeah.
So we're trying to do everything.
Rudolph, it's less risk with Seymour, born in Jamaica, and leaving him at 9. Less risk with Seymour than risk with Tyrese, you know? You don't agree with that concept there, which is Tyrese Hall is born in England, less risk with him than Seymour in our bag. Well, not really, can play for US, but
exactly. And the other day we get a little Nolan and him down at Canada. Nolan and him down Canada, and we are struggling again. And that, you know, and he's 16. So I wouldn't say that.
So we call we say Seymour, hey, look, my youth, we know say we'll bring you in at some point. This may not be the time. We have more need at midfield, you're up on the list. Because you have a list about 40-something people, you're up on the list. Why wouldn't we bring a win? No? Tyrese Hall is not just to bring in to cap, you know. He's a quality box midfielder because look, sometimes we don't want to talk about the reason because some of the players we have called before you finish calling them, we talk to them and they are giving us reason why they're not ready to commit. Okay. So if you're saying there's other reasons, that's fine. Second of all, I was very pleased to hear your comment about Mason Greenwood, to be honest. So tell your friend Maverick to cool him talk. So I said, tell him to cool him talk because him just annoying me with him.
Who's my friend?
You're the program all the time. So yeah, my friend. You're the program all the time. So my friend.
Not true.
Second question. I heard you mention that all of Curaçao team, because Chung is not playing, he's injured, are born outside of Curaçao. Right? And you also mentioned, rightly, if you think about, I'm going to mention this, Cape Verde, for example, who may qualify for the World Cup, most of them are born at Cape Verde, 600,000 people. Given the war for talent in football, because you and I have been back and forth this 200 million times, are we changing our recruiting strategy to then pursue talent wherever it resides, as long as the talent is quality and can help us achieve our objectives?
I think that was always the strategy. Yeah, I don't know why you think there was any difference, but I mean, if I can influence it any at all, yeah, talent is talent everywhere. You mistook some of my utterances to believe that's not the case. When I said that we have to protect the local players coming up, I do have to protect them too. But yes, anywhere the talent is, we have to get it because there's a war on for talent, and most countries not joking around with it, and we have to be the same, ruthless.
So the question in that same vein, because we're doing a question there. When I say war for talent, I just need to mean for the senior national team. We have had this big brouhaha about the under 20, a year or two ago, or a year ago, about what transpired with them. And if you want talent, you have to bring kids in, let them blend to the culture, get a feel for the country and the people and what we do, and feel comfortable in this environment. And if we're going to really recruit...
I think under 20...
Yeah, go ahead. Rudolph.
I think under 20. No, I'm saying I think both under 20 and senior, we have to get the talent when we get them. No two about it, yeah.
So is that a change in strategy?
But I think
that was the case last time, right? That was the case last time.
Let me just explain something to you.
All right.
When facts change, You know what they say, right? Me never finish it, right?
No, but we know. Okay, so if you're telling me that given our performance last time, we're changing. Sorry, Baltry, I apologize, Baltry. I'm not taking your program.
Baltry, you know, say Cranky, you have to come off for the show. Cranky, I get a yellow card.
Baltry. Baltry just come from my thing where I need a drink, but like get them a brain. Anyway, Baltry, I apologize profusely.
No, man, it's okay, no, because I remember say I would have gone through my question, my sugar.
I know you did a good job, by the way. I mean, nobody tell you not to do a good job. Yeah. Don't do like me. You want a man back for your program. Don't do like me. Let me say this, Rudolph. Rudolph, the team as it's constituted, most of the players in the defense and midfield haven't played a lot of football. They've either been injured or they're on the bench. Or them start here and start there. Isn't that a concern for the team?
Yeah, but so you see, you're a line of argument and stay straight. So I'm just going to say this. If you're training in an environment with Premier League championship players, or you're playing at the JPL, and you play every day in the JPL, what do you think?
Rudolph, I was listening to Tuchel. Yep. One time we did Rudolph. And make sure we listen to enough people are talking to Rudolph. When Tuchel was asked the question about Lewis Kelly, who played 2 games for Arsenal, you know what I'm saying? If him not get game time, he not get no game.
Yeah, but he has that luxury. We don't.
No, I'm not saying that. No. My question to you wasn't about whether or not we bring them in. My question was, aren't you concerned?
Yes.
Because game. Okay, that's the question. But
what is the option? What is the option?
I'm not saying there's no option. I'm trying to get your perspective. That's all.
Because no, he can say that. Look here, the amount of good players that want to play for England, he can say anything he want to say. But just think about, in our case, based on the quality what we have and where they play, we don't have that luxury that he has. So I don't think what he does define what we are supposed to do.
No, I agree with that. The point I'm trying to make is that I'm going into you call it the biggest game since what? The last World Cup, I guess?
Ever.
Or maybe ever? You mean give the size of the prize money at stake?
No, because of how this could break out what happened to the qualification.
Okay.
Hold on,
if we win this game, we could win.
Hold on, the gents, not to break the vibe, but Cranky, you're over here, you have to tell the people them for smash like.
Oh, yeah. I apologize profusely. Hey, people, you know when we do it, if you watch me, me go Balpri, I'm saying, people, it's free, We're not too miser, it's free. If you push it down, go hurt your finger, it's the thing in the left-hand corner, right down little bell, then just push the like button, people. You may not like me, but still push it for Balpri, you never push it for me. I'll push it for Rudolph, because I'm come my game time. I'm telling me, say, when him come on them thing, things hot, and I chew him, I tell it appears. I've got to make up with him, so I can get him back on my channel. If more have views.
No, this is not about. Hey. This is not about views.
It's always about views, Baltry. Sorry, Baltry. I'm sorry, disagree with you. It's always about views. It's always about views.
For me, it's about. All right, so I'm tired to hear the narratives them alone around, because if we only hear one side of the story, when we alone talk our narrative are running. So when me get the opportunity to bring on the people, we can ask them the question, hear from them. You see how much I agree. When you ask the question, you see how much I agree. Even though you find a rebuttal, you agree. So you get to ask the question, them and get to hear the answers instead of making up our assumptions. But go ahead, pick up yourself. People smash it.
If it's not about views, it's like Rudolph, I play football and get paid no money. That make no sense.
No, man. No, don't.
It's about views. It's not about the money.
Two things can be true.
It's not about money. It's about building your channel and building your profile and building people recurring for comeback, right? So it's not the money element, You want to attract as much people as possible to communicate your message to a wide audience. That's all.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna big up Mr. Speid and for forward over. That means I've not made a lot of enemies. You get me? I say,
no, it's a good thing. Don't do like me. Don't make enemies. I seem to manufacture them.
No, Crank. I was for years. I tried to tell Cranky one like a fact. I don't mind him criticize me, but why don't criticize the rest of people? Them were worse than me, and he can't find them. That's the problem I have with him.
No.
But then if you can't find them, then you need to leave me alone.
Rudolph. Some people tell you, don't talk about certain people on my channel. Rudolph, I don't talk about certain people on my channel. Ask them. I don't mention certain names on my channel. Don't even mention any name. Them so toxic not to mention any name. So maybe toxic for some people. Don't mention any name. So then we can't criticize them. Because they're not your role. So yeah, if you're in the seat, the seat come with responsibility, accountability, and criticism. It's innate to the role.
I don't mind. I just want it to be fair. That's all.
All right. So we go into the game tomorrow. Yeah. Any concerns you have about the opposition? So we talked about the opposition and that they're all from the motherland or what fatherland, where they come from. You have any? And we talked about the team preparedness, the fact that we haven't played a ton of football except in practice for most of the squad, except maybe the forward line. What are your key concerns going into the game?
Oh, but I mean, but I don't know if what you say is true. Half of the defense has been playing out of that game. Sorry.
Mason Woolgate, Damian Lowe, Richard. He can pin up. Yeah. Not pin up football.
So me now that was not.
You have a call on name. I tell you what we know about them. They're not playing football.
Yeah, but as we talked about that already. Look, yes, but the truth is, what are your options? You know, we not an option. We have to go from. We have to pick from.
I'm asking you if you have any concerns, or are you just happy with what you see in training, what you see in the squad, the camaraderie, the togetherness, and the ability of the players?
It's always better. It's always better when you're playing. Always better when you're playing. There's no two way about that. But based on where we are, and we have no choice. We have to use the best combination we can find to play our defense and for the best.
But while we're on that, though, Cranky, answer that question. What are our options for that question? Because I mean, could have asked that question that but most of the questions I'm asked, I already have an answer for it. That's why I'm going to ask them. What are our options, though, if we never use those players?
Well, normally options is, what are the alternatives? You could have bring in different players, but do you have different players?
No.
Or you can say to yourself, did they bring in different players? Which is the option, actually, if I think about it. It's the option. Do you have different players you could bring in? If somebody now playing football, it becomes difficult,
What different players, though, Cranky? What different players? Because that's my problem. That's
if you're going to use the criteria for Ravel Morrison, for example, and say Ravel Morrison should not be in the team, no.
You're talking about the defense.
No. Give me an example. Go back to the defense. But give me an example. If I have a Daniel Johnson playing in Turkey regularly, not getting the call up, right? That not make no sense to me, and this is not good enough. If you have a Ravel Morrison, you're not getting in the game because he's not playing any competitive football. Yeah. But you have other players like Lati who hasn't played any football all year. Then what's the question?
So who said that was the reason why they're not called, though? Did somebody say that?
But I'm saying we're always going to speculate if we're not given reasons.
No, but who said that was the reason why they were not called? Did somebody from the coaching staff say that?
No. When we talk about Daniel Johnson, we're saying, does anybody know about Daniel Johnson who's on the coaching staff?
What are you talking about? Everybody know about him.
Well, no, but you guys have the coach know Daniel Johnson?
Everybody know about him.
Okay, so we're saying he's not good enough to be in the team then. And he's playing in Turkey's first division, and he's playing well, he's scoring goals, so we're saying he's not good enough. But we have midfielders here who are not even playing any football, and we bring them in.
I don't want to go into that. I thought this squad that we pick is one of the better squad that we pick, very balanced, based on what we have to pick from. And also a very good age. It's not over the age of best performance from teams. So I am satisfied. You see, I am a person who look at the bigger picture. And from that point of view, I am satisfied. You're not going to get everything right. There's no way on earth, Cranky, me and you and everybody are going to agree. Cranky, you support Arsenal, other people support Man U and Liverpool. You see why everybody can never ever agree on everything. So I'm not going to go down that road. I think on a whole, this squad is good enough to do the job, and I'm satisfied.
Why don't we call the kid from Brentford?
Cranky. Answer the question. Yeah.
May I come to the question? Why don't we call the kid from Brentford? We haven't citizenship but not in passport. Why we never call him?
Oh, Rika Henry?
Yeah.
But we spoke to him, Cranky. That's hard. May I leave it right there? We spoke to him. We wanted him to come. So may I leave it right there.
Okay.
Cranky, answer the question. No, Cranky. Who are the options? You said the defender them not play, and it should be a cause for concern. What are the other options?
No. But you missed my point of the question, though. what we want to know going to the game is, are we in the best position to be successful? Does the coaching staff everything covered? Do they have any concerns about the squad and their capability and their readiness? And communicate that to the general public if they believe that we should know about it. Right? It's not about having, we don't have any, I mean, we're going to call away Ethan Pinnock or Damian Lewis, one of my favorite players, to be honest. Even though now I'm playing our regular team football, I think he would be ready. He's always ready. When him coming like a Ravel to me. When I play football, I'm always ready. But Ethan Pinnock to me may not be ready given his physical attributes and him being injury prone. I don't know. The point I'm trying to make is that when you look at the squad, and everybody should ask this question, which is, are we concerned that the midfield and defense is not playing a lot of football? We're going to play a game which Rudolph Speid says is the most important game in Jamaica's probably history. And you mentioned early in the program, because I was listening when I was driving.
You're quoting me now, Cranky. You're really quoting me, right?
I've said this numerous times that Hayden is Jamaica's most important player. And I'm sorry, pick up the look at the last game, but Hayden is not playing. We don't have that comfort in front of the defense. So here's the question for you, Rudolph, which is interesting. Lati hasn't played any football. Frey is not a true CDM. You sort of hinted we're going to come up with a different strategy, which may be true at the back. May I hear from you, but I mean, I make it up.
Yes.
I am going into this game concerned, to be honest. I'm going to get concerned.
But
yes.
All right, so
sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead, King.
Now, me I try to figure out what does concern have to do at this final hour. Me still try to figure. That's why I mean I ask them question. Then me can't ask them question. I'm going to the question.
Balpri, it's a conversation.
All right,
we're talking to the technical advisor, who is giving fans some assurance about the team going into a game 20, 15 hours from the game.
Yeah.
We are trying to get from him intelligence and information to inform our view about where the team is from a representative. If him come to me and say, no, Cranky, we know about that. We see them not training, them fit, them run hard, them play well. We know they haven't played in the ball. But you know their capabilities. We see them in training. We think they're ready. That's a different conversation, you know, and a comfort and a feeling, you know.
Go ahead. That's it. Me I go back. Ball tree, me I go back in that tree right now.
No. You know, me keep saying, hey, I'm seasoned. I'm getting older. CC, good night. I'm getting old.
Good night. We just have a couple of questions still. Good night, Mr. Speid. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I want to ask this question, Mr. Speid, because I've been laughed to. What the people that call it, ad nauseum on YouTube, when I remember saying that every time we have a tournament, that's when we have a coach for the youth team. So if a tournament is coming in 2 months, 1 month before the tournament, we have a coach. So I wanted to know what prompted you guys to look at it and say, you know, we need to install people at each level when it comes down to the youth teams.
I mean, I'm sure everybody see the improvement that we are making in that technical era. People just try to ignore it because it gives them a narrative, but there's drastic improvement. We actually train our own coaches them now up to the A license level, and some of them doing them pro license. And we believe now that before we're always like, who should do it? We can't afford the money to bring in a foreign coach. We know the local coach not qualify. We don't have that problem anymore. We have qualified local coach to coach at that level. We believe some of them with the requisite experience. And so it's easy for us to just go through now and say, okay, where the stars are, which we have a policy in terms of women. Every woman team must have a woman coach. We have women coaches doing A license, which was unheard of for a woman coach, even in Jamaica, even if you have a B. So with the progress that we made over the last 5 years in coaching education, enable us to do what we do now. And there are stages. So pretty soon we're going to take the next stage where all 10 coaches sit down around a table and we say, okay, what we're looking for from under 14 right up to under 20. So that's where we are. It's a part of our evolution, and we get.
Well, you know, it leads me to our next question, Mr. Speid, because we saw the progress with Morocco in the World Cup, but I think people not looking at Morocco at the U20 World Cup where they were in a group with Brazil, Mexico, and Spain. They beat Spain, they beat Brazil. I don't remember. I didn't watch the game against Mexico, but what looked at it when I saw it, they were saying that they were training coaches in their country, but they not only train coaches, they were looking at also administrators. So I know you touched on the coaches' perspective, but in terms of administrators, persons who are dealing with the administrative part of football, I know you wear many hats, but when you look at it, when people ask why Rudolph Speed in this position, we also look at it and say how many Rudolph Speed do you have out there as an administrator? So you would have reeled out your accolades, but when we look, how many administrators are coming behind you to say, all right, we are have an 10, 15, 20 persons. If Rudolph Speed is unable to take over this position, there's someone else capable of doing that job.
No, we actually start the process with the whole process of club licensing, because what we do with for you to get a club license to play in the Premier League, you have to have a variety of different persons. You have to have doctors, people in charge of marketing, gate, administrator, goalkeeper, coach, physio. So there's a whole list of probably about 15 people that each club have to put put up to in these different posts. So that's where the training is, and then we do have training for these people. So yeah, we're getting there too. It's just because these people are more behind the scenes and not that, so you're not seeing them. So that's what is happening.
Because I think, because when I looked at it, they were showing coaches, administrators, and then you kind of see how the football builds from there. And I see where they're benefiting right now at their youth level. They benefited from the senior level and then the youth level. The next question before we make everybody else start is, when you look at the senior team, right? I know the influx, like the players like Dujan Richards come in, Whisper come in, Seymour Reed, these young players, and people are clamoring for other young players to come into the team. Do you think there's an issue because we don't have a team before the senior? It's like, I don't know if you know, when you're in a workplace and them have team lead before you become supervisor, or you have like a team before the senior team, the bridge between senior and under 20, and then players that are eligible as youth players, they have quality that would, when the academy players, they are going on international break. A lot of them are going to play for Germany U21, Spain U21, England U21, Ukraine whichever U21 team they're going out on international break. But some of our youth players, if they don't come and play for Jamaica, then they just sit at home.
Right. So we're in a very different situation, I must say. But what we have done over the past years is try to have a local team that is young to try and get them into some international games. But I must tell you that a lot of the coaches that we employ, they say they were going to do it initially, and then once they get the job, they drop the ball. And that has been happening to us. Why these young players haven't gotten the chance to play international games. Now, the truth is that the Olympic movement, which is the under 23, they changed the way we qualify for those tournaments. So you don't play that qualification tournament anymore. It's really what the under 20 does decide if you go to the Olympic Games, and that left a void for those age players. But then Jamaican players again, very bossy. You can't get those players once they start to play for your club to come and play under 20 games or under 23 games. They're just not coming. So that's where we have like a problem. And if you notice, like I think Mexico the last time, just ignored them totally and went with local players for the under 20 games. And they did exceptionally well. But we are not in that position to ignore them because we don't have that quality of players yet to compete at the under 20 level by using schoolboys or players that's just playing the JPL. And it's something that we have seen and learned from. So we're trying to make the best use of both worlds, but it's difficult to get it going. But we're stuck into the task. But that team that you're talking about is missing. It costs almost the same amount to send a national team on the road, like under 21 or under 23. We can't afford it. So we have to depend on like the Olympic qualifiers to really put that team in place or play international games, non-points game with some younger players, which we have tried to do in the last 2 or 3 years.
Final question. in the Premier League,
No,
Jamaica.
see.
Oh, there's a one more question.
Frankie,
More
got
ask,
you.
man.
Hold on, knock your ball game, man.
That's why
Obviously,
one call it
So,
ball three, you know.
CC, you said the final question before. Let me jump. Rudolph, back to the Curaçao game, Rudolph. You mentioned before that CFAS has some qualities which are unique and world class in terms of his speed, which we don't disagree with. So you may or may not answer this question, but has the coaching staff have discussion with CFAS about his decision making?
We see everything. Come on, Cranky.
No. I'm just because coach.
If you can, whatever the players need help with, look, so look here, you get the player for 3 days. There's a limit to what you can do with the players for 3 days, right? Let us not fool ourselves. There's a limit to what anybody can do with a player for 3 days. So we go over everything with the players that we think needs immediate attention. We talk to the team that he plays for. All of those things are done to make sure that the player perform better when they come for the national team.
Do we do scenario analysis with him?
Cranky, you're not a coach in a Cranky. Just remember, we know what to do.
No, I'm just. We know something about football because you tell me that all the time, right?
You're not a coach, Cranky.
Do you do scenario? Here's the reason why I'm asking the question, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, the question is, are you being taught, or you just nobody is educating you, advising you, providing you guidance in that area?
I just told you that we do. And we talk to the clubs for all the players, not just him alone.
Okay.
Cranky, it's not nice to single out the player like that anyway, but we need him tomorrow
to
make one of those runs and score.
Decision making. I said decision. I didn't coach the player. I said decision making.
We need him tomorrow to make one of those runs, score one of those goals. If you look at him record, they were very productive in assists.
Last game he was 8 of 8 passing, but he was of 28 touches. Campbell was 14 of 15 passing, twice as much passes as him. Right? It's important to know these stats and to provide the players so they can make better decisions because it affects the team.
But if you have a player that so I played my team sometime, right? And when it finished, I come off the field and said, "Did you notice? I didn't even give away one. I would complete 30 from 30. You could even put me on a field with them." No, it's not the same. So if a player decides that he wants to take the ball in front of the defense and knock it around, and another player who wants to run in behind the defense, you can see the difference in the amount of passes that they're going to make, Cranky. That is why I tell you, you're not a coach. Stop talk like that, because we are just going to be here and say, "Okay, Cranky, please, don't even start."
So all the people in the chat who are cussing on my channel, a lot of them, when CFAS do something when them can't believe pass the ball, all of us just don't know nothing about football.
No, I'm saying, Cranky, depends on how the player is playing and what his rules are. If you're running in behind, you're gonna have different stats from a player who take the ball in front. Come on, it's just obvious. You might not realize it, but if you think about it now, you realize what I just say. If you as a player trying to run in behind all the time, or you're getting the ball to run and cross, your stats going to be much different from another winger who, you can come back and pick it up from him wing back. Think about it.
So me go join. Right. So Cranky, you support Arsenal. You have a winger named Martinelli. And again, that's why I mean like single out the player.
No, you mean CFAS. Martinelli named CFAS.
You have a player, but Martinelli still reached the highest level. He's playing for your club, Arsenal. But guess what, Cranky? I mean know this. Again, me is not a coach.
Right.
You play football as well. But me not understand. I want to know them something here. Whatever is Martinelli's strength, them try to use Martinelli's strength to as much as his ability, which is the same them try to do with CFAS. So that's why you want to ask them questions, because probably you don't understand it. Me never ask that question because me understand it more. But what I try to do, I'm going to be honest with you, I want to try for the sensational points them where everybody run with, and I try to just group them up, and then when I continue it over and over for views and likes, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. That's what I mean. I ask those questions because me know better. Me think you supposed to know better. I don't do it. I mean, could ask the technical director if nobody now coach CFAS. Come on, bro. You know better than that.
No. It's not about. No. It's not about.
Because I don't want to say that. Me not allow the question them for ask me. Bring you on it, but I could ask a question like that.
Rudolph answered the question because. Yeah. Look, if you have whether it's politics or real life, if there's questions being asked on a continuous basis, someone keeps doing the same thing, and it's not brought in the public domain by the people in charge making decisions and providing guidance, then it's always going to linger. If Rudolph comes and says, we have had those conversations, then it helps us settle the argument.
I know, but Cranky, but Cranky, but you're not empathy, you're not thinking about what the answer could trigger with the players. So that's why you have to be careful, that is why I say.
You have to answer the question.
Oh, but even when we don't answer, it insinuates something. So it's a question where like it loaded and you shouldn't even ask, okay, you experience enough to, but you didn't say
I have to ask the question
you
because
you say you drink tonight, so me kind of just...
No, I don't drink. I only drink water. I don't drink liquor.
Okay.
But question though, Mr. Speid, on the game of Curaçao. Sorry. I watched a game with Bermuda and Curaçao play, right? I watched them with Trinidad. And I noticed that they are susceptible to direct transition play and that diagonal ball in behind the defense. So I'm looking at it and saying, we have a pacey winger in CFAS, and then we have a youngster who's a tricky winger himself, but then he does, I know the defensive side, one of the winger is more defensive than the other. So I'm thinking, going into the game, are we looking at how we can exploit those areas given the tapes that we would have watched are, just that.
Some of these questions, you're just trying to help the opposition, though.
All right, believe it then.
Okay.
Believe it then. But as I said, still, I looked at them and I watched them versus Bermuda, and I noticed they are susceptible to.
We would have noticed too. We spend a lot of hours looking at it.
So and for me, I think because I know I look at them, they're a ball possession team. I don't know. Remember the Dutch type of football, total football. So they're a ball possession team. But I notice whenever they're out of possession, then they take a while to get back into shape. And I notice your team likes to play club wise. So I'm thinking that your influence in terms of your advice going into the game. That's why I'm not worried, I already tell the people my 3-0 Jamaica are winning, So I'm not worried, So unlike other people, I've watched them play. I respect the opponent, not disrespecting the opponent, but based on the quality players that we have and the games that I've seen against the other opponents, I think we can exploit those areas that I think I saw. Not having the knowledge that you guys have in terms of the coaching staff, but I think we should be okay going up against Curaçao tomorrow. The only worry that I would have had is the turf. And I remember the game that we played against Nicaragua and we did in that game. We had a little bit of trouble, but I think some of our best football came in that game. And I think Tyree Magee, best game since he played against Costa Rica, came in that game as well. So I think some of the players, they tend to bring out a little bit more when the surface is a little bit much more smooth. So I'm not worried.
Let me say something. I see comments.
Hear that, Cranky, hear that.
No, let me say something. Because I see comments in the comment section, some it duns, which is interesting. And comments here that Ballpree just said about me ask certain questions.
Yeah.
Jamaica went into the Gold Cup with 2 midfielders. Now, you would have said coaches, advisors, whatever, should have all noticed that. So some things which you guys think are obvious and which we have called out.
I wasn't at the Gold Cup.
Wait, well, let me just say this, though. Because I've been criticized about asking certain questions and I mean, I have no intelligence, I mean, I know football, I mean, I play football. That's all good. I called out the 2 midfielders from day one. From day one. Rudolph says it subsequently on Maverick's channel. That was made by a coach who coached England, who coached FC 20, who coached Middlesbrough. Okay? Some things which may seem obvious are not that obvious. That's why in the public forum, you call them out to make sure the coaching staff, Rudolph seems to say this, can see and observe everything. The reason why Amazon have questions and ask you for surveys because they want to get intelligence from as wide a population as possible. That's why you bring everything to the fore. You try to help the team. You ask questions, and you hope that maybe something's out there that wasn't in that whole mix. They may pick up, even they may not admit it, and take it away and leverage it. So those of you in the chat think I'm stupid. I may be stupid. I'm not that smart, and you're brilliant. So I said the guy in the captain, my idiot. That's fine. I can live with that if you think that way. But I also believe that my job and your job, Ballpree, and everybody else is to provide information as much as possible to help the program. Sometimes it seems as criticism. My hope is that Rudolph and his people will take the criticism, assess the criticism, don't just get defensive, leverage it, and use it to help themselves. That's my soliloquy.
Yeah, but what am I saying, Cranky? I'm saying that we have a balance between, because remember the play, chances are the players watching the show, you know. Remember the player have match tomorrow. You know?
I'm hoping he's watching the show.
Yeah, so the chances are the balance, because I, in my hearts of hearts, must know, say, people must have been talking to the player about these things. People must do it. I know, say, you said things can be overlooked, but especially like that, that's a running narrative on in all of the space. Them. That's a running narrative. There's no way that can be unheard of. There's no way that can slip through no crack. Remember, so that's a running narrative about every show. Every time CFA's done play, everybody talk. That can't slip nowhere, Cranky. Come on, man.
I want to play every time you get the ball to think about, do I pass or do I dribble? That's what I want. I want him to be in his consciousness. I want him to be in his consciousness that everybody's saying it. So at some point it resonates because it hasn't been resonating.
But
so Cranky, you believe like the dribble and make in a Unity Cup.
Brilliant dribble. Brilliant dribble.
The dribble and make in a when they play Bermuda and scored a solo goal from in half. You think him? I think when him receive that ball, he see the opening same time. So if him did make up his mind what to do, probably wouldn't score that goal. I think deep down when him get the ball and when him was then he just saw the opening and just start and just take the openings and just come through. So it's a lot of players instinctive. I don't think you're going to say me must make up my mind when I go do, you know when the ball come to you. Sometimes a lot of good players is just instinctive, and that I think is one of his strengths because him able to find that gap when probably nobody else never even noticed it is there.
It goes back to what the coach says when he was interviewed at Sabina Park, which people don't seem to take to heart. When he was asked by TVJ about Jamaica players, he didn't talk about their intellect. He didn't talk about decision making. He talked about their physical attributes. And then he went on to talk about when they're 7, how they get trained in England, which means de facto he's saying we don't train our players the right way to make right decisions. Right?
Oh, that's true that I already doing. Cranky and
what I'm trying to make is that even though you may tell the player and somebody may tell the player, when everybody's saying the same thing in the public domain, at some point it hits your consciousness. That's my philosophy.
Yeah, but totally wrong. That's my view. No. But all right, so we go through that already in our program about the golden years of learning from 7 up to 14. We go through that already, and we go through the failure why we now more. We have talent like Rice Green at Jamaica, but harness properly because we never have a coach in place. We go through all that already in our Cranky. So, I mean, so
I missed that because I was driving. I didn't join the program till late. Somebody called me and told me about the program. I haven't seen you on YouTube since I can't recall when. So somebody called me and told me while I was driving, and I couldn't come on because I was driving, so I didn't know. So if they went over it, then that's my fault.
Yeah.
But see, ask a question because your background kind of chew off the aesthetics of the show. So just ask a question. I'm going to make you ask a question and make you leave.
All right, I understand it because one brother did laugh after me already said me only do YouTube in my car, but a bicycle him right, so me understand when Mr. Speid does when people jealous. So when I work a bicycle.
There must be a big show go on now, so you have to
me understand the background, man. But my question still as to it surrounds like when you talk about the national team, right? In terms of like one of the question. I don't want to bring a question of in terms of football and qualifying and I don't want to ask a question about the game tomorrow, because I don't want to go get into some strategic.
You ready, CC? Think about the question.
Yeah, I think about the question.
Cranky, go through.
Rudolph, I was extremely pleased about your comment about Mason Greenwood, and here's why. Because there's been a narrative running, not on Mason Greenwood. You've talked about if we get, you and I have had this conversation before, and you've said this, which is if they're EPL players, there's no question. It is what it is, right? You've said that to me before, so I can say that in public domain. But there have been a lot of narrative about Mason, whether it comes in or not, about other players. And also about, which I think we should be empathetic about, the players who help us to get to World Cup. It's a zero-sum game. You'd have to replace one with a new person coming in, right?
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
What's the thought process around that? As it relates to, you know what? Max Aarons, Rico Henry, Mitchell, Cameron Archer, all these players I've heard about supposed to be coming in, they can't reach. And they may want to come in, and they may be able to come in if they get their citizenship and passports. What's your view about, do I think about the quality of the squad and replacing them? Or do I say, you know what, I got to go with who take me here?
And that's a decision that we'd have to make. I mean, that decision would be made down to the last minute before we have to put in the names. So I am not even worried about that now. All I can say to anybody who willing to listen, quality make it easier. So wherever there is quality, it make it easier for you to achieve whatever you want to do when you're thinking about football. And that's where I am. Get quality to make it easier. But that decision, I wouldn't even talk about it now because that's a decision I'm going to make way down the road, maybe sometime in May. Right now, I'm just concerned with getting to the World Cup, which is the most important thing, right?
A more long-term question. Not to do with the football tomorrow. I struggle to ask question about tomorrow, which may get beaten up, say, might try to give it a secret to the opposition.
And they should
Jamaica is trying to refurbish the stadium, right? Refurbish National Stadium. Do you think it will get to the standard whereby we can approach whoever the parties are to bring Gold Cup games to Jamaica? Because the US dominates the Gold Cup, which is a revenue generation business, and they get to play all the games in the US most times. You know, Canada, Mexico can hold games. You think the stadium will get to the level, capacity, and the standard to allow us to bid to bring not necessarily the entire tournament, but games to be played in Jamaica?
The capacity is not the problem. I just think, as I said before in the statement, I don't think them should have refurbished the stadium. They should build a new one, a football
I agree
stadium.
with that, by the way.
Yeah, the stadium is too old and is a security breach. It have too much issues. Like when, you know, they came to the fore when we do the game against Inter Miami. The gate broke down, you know. The gate not even strong enough. People push down the gate. That's one. All of the officials, them, walk through the McDonald tunnel. So then there was a security issue with the players then coming off and everybody want to get to the tunnel to go to the hospitality room, for have them refreshment half time. It does not conducive for modern football. So I think they don't have to lick it down kind of other use. But for international games, we should build a stadium and use it for international football games.
Okay. Hey, Bob, I come for your program for the man and run me off. Thanks for having me, Rudolph. And I have this interesting relationship where he beat me up all the time. And I take the beating. So I run. Rudolph,
you sure me beat you up, right? You sure?
Yeah, man. I appreciate the opportunity, Bob Pre. All right. Thanks, Rudolph.
Remember, say a legend. Remember, Cranky, you're a legend of the place and you're the legendary word. Don't go on like say, I think PNP work here go out. You get me?
Bob Pre, you know, him do an article for me with there, and then he send it to me. I'm going to tell him, say, look, fear. He might ask a who thief my phone and answer. I'm not an unreasonable person. I mean, I think it was fear, but sometimes I'm unfair. So when I'm unfair, I point him out. Yeah. And when him fear, I say, well, they fear enough. You know.
To be fair, still, you know, I see Cranky have a stance, because the Mason Greenwood thing. First day, Cranky fly out. And I'm like,
Vex, like, you know what? Vex.
Vex, of course. And then, after a couple weeks, I'm like, Cranky calm down, and Cranky's like, all right, I understand, change the whole to it. But me can't do that to Cranky, me have to make up my mind. I know I have emotions too, you know, but me have to make up my mind what me want. So me couldn't come out.
Ball free, if you understand. I knew from the inception, I don't want to say too much, but me need to follow the process from day one with some intel until the decision was made. And I lost my, you know what, mind when the decision wasn't positive. Trust me.
But me not expect that from. What me I say is, me not expect that from me. Look up to you. Me not expect that from you.
My feelings are hurt.
My feelings are hurt too. I'm sure say Mr. Speed feelings hurt too. The whole of feelings hurt. We don't want to see him forward already. But we just have to know as. We just have to go and wait. And as well, Mr. Can you ask a question what they ask again? You ask a couple questions we already asked and Mr. Speed answer them again. You get me? But that's fine, because you never listen to the show.
No. I came in late. Somebody, me not say who called me, but somebody called me from Jamaica.
Yeah.
Or me call him from Jamaica and call him back. And them said this show is on.
Yeah.
And I was driving home and I called in. So I apologize if I asked, rhetorical.
No,
question.
that's fine, man. That's fine. Because again, me no want tomorrow I'll come and say King never alone the hard question. They might beat me in the comment section, say me not ask the hard question and ask everybody. I try to go through the comments and I could find the hard question then. I still could find the hard question. The most hard question is specific around individual players, and that are the worst time for us.
The final question I'm gonna ask.
CC come make
CC come back. So I'll leave.
Me make a question.
I will not get another question. Bless up, Apri, bless up, Rudolph.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do also. I'm not gonna ask my guests to overstay. Mr. Speid, I'll just ask you for 5 more minutes max.
Yeah, man, respect. Bro.
No, Rudolph, good point thing, man. Rudolph, give me an extra hour.
Me not overstay my guests. You get me? I'm not burning mode. Go ahead.
You have 649 people. Rudolph, don't disappoint the people then. That's what I have to say. Stay on later.
This question is about the whole YouTube space, and 98 we never have the social. YouTube started in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. The dot-com bubble in the 90s it started. But I want to ask this: how important, Mr. Speid, do you guys think, as a part of the federation now, do you think the YouTube and the whole vlogger and the whole community is to the, I will say, even the space, the football, or the pushing of Jamaica football in this circle?
No, I welcome it. As a matter of fact, I am one of the person who actually made it popular, contrary to anybody believe, because I used to go up on program where 10 people, and after a while them start have hundreds and thousands. So I was one of the person willing to go on the YouTube channel, say this is what we're doing. Of course, and I've seen some YouTubers do some very good work in trying to expose and promote players, the EJPL, the games itself, people film them and show them. So there's no doubt that they contribute a lot to the football landscape. It makes more people understand what is happening in the JFF, right? But there came a time when they just all got negative and tried to portray the JFF in a bad light, no matter what we're trying to do. Bearing in mind that we're a young nation in football, I keep on saying it. Everybody think that we are up there with the US's and the Brazil and the England. No, we're not anywhere near those things. And I demonstrated that earlier in the program. We never have no coaching, we never have no league, we never have nothing. But people expect the national team to produce at a level that the infrastructure is just not there to support it. And that is what we're trying to build. But some of them really toxic, them lie, them just say things with it. They don't know if it's true or, or if it's not true. And then you have to understand after a while, people going to say, how much more this may take, So everybody have to understand that just like how they wouldn't want anybody lie on them and talking that is not true about them. It's the same with the JFF. So after a while, we expect people to push back as with anything, and that has been happening now.
I'm going to ask this to Mr. Speid, because I've read articles from mainstream media and I've seen mainstream media talk about the team. Some of them, they don't know the players. The Reggae Boyz is playing. Me all people I say Reggae Boyz are playing today. I may have to tell the people, if you call in for the program and say, no, the team is playing tomorrow, 6 o'clock. I may see people say, for example, a player, then put a player name in an article, and the player is playing for Chelsea when the player is playing for Brentford. So for me, I'm just thinking that when it comes down to like YouTubers, it's almost like they're second-rate citizens are second-rated, and then mainstream media gets a pass per se because they have a registered entity and they're located at this place.
So a mainstream media. So you're right. A mainstream media, none of them don't know nothing. Them don't know anything about the sport or anything. But they have standards. They're not going to libel you because they know you'll sue them. They have standards. They're not going to talk certain things about people individually. I remember I used to work at a media for 30 years, so don't get me wrong about media, And that is why I was so interested in make sure I said bloggers get a voice. I used to have my boss used to tell the reporter, say, why are you writing? So like somebody do something wrong and then say, Rudolph Speid, the son of some important person name did this. And my boss used to say, Oliver Clark used to say, why you calling the man name? The man don't do nothing. Why are you putting the man out there to become a target when the man didn't do anything? That's not what bloggers do. Them just target people, slander them, portray people in a bad light when not even go so. So people are push back. That's my point, People will start push back. I remember say people have power for push back, one way or the other. And that I think is the problem. There's nobody to regulate social media. They talk anything, do anything, come out them mouth. And they have so much information and can contribute in a better way, which they refuse to do it because they just want to get some people come and cost, take out that fast
But
station.
I understand that point.
This is the last one. You heard the last
Yeah, man, the
one.
last one, man. I understand that.
Yes, overstay.
I understand, man. It's just, as I said, I would have to ask this because ball pre is important for you too. Because I'm just saying, there's situations happening where I think we're on the verge of qualifying for the World Cup. And I think that the YouTubers they have done more in the football in terms of informing people. Yes, they've done some bad. I'm not going to argue about that. But they've done more than mainstream media. And mainstream media seems to be the one at the forefront when we are on the precipice of qualifying.
Well, personally, I'm more comfortable talking to mainstream than social media because I don't know what you're going to say. Mainstream I work by ethics and I can call somebody and say, your boy said this about me and or do this and him shouldn't do it, and somebody going to call him up and say, hey, that's not how we want it to go. If you do that to a YouTube man, he just liable you more the next day. If you call him and tell him, say, yeah, what you do? He just go on harder the next day upon you. I mean, that's the real problem though we have. So maybe this conversation is so good because you'll be able to tell somebody and say, yo, you have to be fear about things, man, And that's all people require. Nobody's above being asked question or, clarify, but that's not the usually, I have some good YouTubers, some really good ones, but you have some ones that are awful.
As I said, respect the opinion still.
Yeah. All right, TC, left right this is Sir Speid.
Yeah,
the last commentary on screen. Again, me have to really bad for my fellow colleague. Danny J said Nakins done. I know a legal case so it kinda tricky, but Danny J said. And I'm a virgin too. I'm a virgin and a good youth him put in a lot of work. But
yeah, and him put in a lot of work, and I really appreciate him the work when put in the Premier League because him are one of the man them were really up there. But at the end of the day, look here, let me tell you this. There was a time when everybody decides they want to soak my name in a blood or wherever, all over the place. After that, it kind of calmed down. Maybe that's why FIFA give me one appointment. So the truth is, come on, not a proof, but nothing, don't talk it. And, that's how we always live by them rules there. We know enough things, but we don't say certain things if we're not sure. So why somebody must get the dignity of that? So you want to put yourself in that position, and I've been telling people, yo, stop that, stop. Don't do that for years. People just say, oh, they don't care. So why would I care either if them not caring?
Yeah, man, but I have to ask anything I can do for the general. I have to ask. But Mr. Speid,
what general can do for himself.
I ask him. At least if I make it public, I'm a general. So anything I can do for easy, me I tell. But Mr. Speid, it's been a pleasure. More you do one thing for me. Big up Avery. See, Avery, you talk about marketing and social media. Big up Avery and the marketing team. I see every comment and big up Cranky. Avery don't even big up ball pre, Avery big up Cranky. But big Arab said, you get me and say, I say, she had a great work. And the marketing team and the great work.
She's here, man. So when we see her tomorrow, I'm big Arab for him.
Big Arab, man. And big up the players, them, make sure, so the man, them, tell them, say, ball pre and the whole of Jamaica, with Dede, you see me, with Dede, right, Dede with them. So get the job done tomorrow. We're at hour 98, this, hour 98, this. And give thanks, you spend so much time. You see it, and me, you not even tell me say you cut yet. But remember, you have to get some risk. You have to hold it tomorrow. Hold it tomorrow. So you seem like you enjoy yourself way too much to answer the questions. But Thanks for
No,
passing
but
through.
I'm always the type of person for you. You can ask me any question. Trust me, I'm going to give you an honest answer. I don't understand how people don't realize that about me. I'm giving you an honest answer. You might not agree with what I say, but then we can't all agree. So I don't understand. And I always wonder why sometimes I hear people are talking and I'm saying, who them really are talking about? Me that? I'm just shocked. I'm nothing like what them think but that's how it is. Though.
But thanks for passing through. Thanks
Yeah,
for
man, no problem.
giving up your time and answering the questions, isn't it? And
Respect.
all the best. You got the boys them for me. Big up
Yeah,
yourself,
man.
Mr. Speed.
Same here.
Bless.
Cool.
Bless,
Oh,
bless, bless. People, that was Mr. Speed. I don't know, but try to ask as much question as you know. Self ask as much as possible. You see me? As much as possible. I give other people the platform for share. You see me? People to smash the like button and way out. You see me? I don't know how better I could have done this. You see me? So really try to do my best and try to bridge a gap also, as you can say, we bridge a gap. So people big up on yourself, you don't know until next time. I don't know you're out and smash that like. But hold on the people, hold on. We have some ads to play. We have some paid ads. Man, we might not get paid. Hold on, the woman not get paid. People have some paid ads, so I go on. Not get paid for the ads them. People we have some paid ads for run. The paid ads them not run star. I go on. No, I don't know. But people, it was a good show. Again, here's the thing. Like over there. Here's the thing. I'm gonna drop back the link again. I'm gonna drop the link and I don't know who I have them say. Again, people have to try to protect my guests as well. You see me just like come protect all of my guests them. You see me, I will try to bridge back the gap. Unity will say and a World Cup will say. So anybody want to join the calling number now works so well. I'm gonna pick up the mixer tomorrow or soon. But in the meantime, people who have them say the link is right there. You can obviously have a few information for play. You have to use the link because the calling number not working so well. Nobody not gonna hear your family. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Enough respect. Big up. But yeah, people, anybody who have them say the link is there just for obviously. You see me? I try my best, people. I can't say I'm gonna try to bridge a gap and make sure say I share the platform as well and share the pie. Cause they're there for everybody in the people. You see me? And really and truly my aim is for see the football moving forward. I know so when the things say I'm not beat enough, I'm not have belt enough. You see me? No, I want to say a lot of things about me, you see me, but that is not my prerogative. It's not my prerogative, people. Dan Legend, what go on? What say you enjoy the show, sir?
Yeah, my day, man, at the body show this week, man.
Bad show from week. Judge.
Yeah,
What I
man.
mean? I do a next bad show for the week, you know. I'm don't do that.
Yeah, when I tell you, man,
Enough
you see
bad
too
show me
much,
do for the week. I don't want bad show me do for the week. Come on.
bro, because Curaçao get 3 tomorrow. And that may I try to show you.
Okay.
So,
Same.
the modest thing, man. But more on the fans, them, bro. As Mr. Speed say, some of the time, the negativity, what we get from the show tonight, too.
Yeah.
Some of the time, the negativity overthrow the positive of your show up on the team or if you promote Jamaica. You see me? So, and the thing is, we for just appreciate the ball of them, bro. We can't go get everybody, brother. Only for just accept the things say, at the man them what they represent now, at them for just focus on, bro. You see me? So that are my take on the thing, bro. As when Cranky mentioned the center about them not play and who else you gonna get. So the fans them, especially the one them where forward and support the YouTube thing. Know most of the thing, but like negativity kind of tone it down. If you have an opinion, do come on the show and just they show them like Ryan stream and the rest of stream them and pre the balance. You get what me I say. So that are my take still. You see me what? 3 tomorrow.
Is it 3
You see
love?
me Jamaica. Yeah, some of the ball of them tune in on the show, you know, bro. Them only see the show right now, you know, bro. So
Yeah.
more on the boys them put in the work here tomorrow. Everything on God. God. The Curaçao game tomorrow is the most important game. Cause we can't draw and we can't lose. Then what else? You have to be a win.
Then me have determined. Determine your background kind of noisy. Oh, go on. Hello?
Can you hear
Determined.
me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, we are here. We are here. We are here.
Good night, King. Good night, Don. Everybody else that's
Listen,
out there.
listen.
Quick question, right? When Mr. Speed was talking about independent media, right?
Yeah.
What was he referring to? Is the independent media being blocked from going to the press conference, or is still a question mark?
No. I did ask him about the YouTube situation, and he did say it's something that he got address because he wasn't aware of it because of a film portfolio basically. So he did ask him, and he said I got address it. But
Because a while ago, towards the end, he was saying that he prefers mainstream media, right? Because he
yeah,
gets to hold people accountable, correct?
yeah.
So I guess what happened prior to when uh, independent media was helping as far as cleaning up the image of the JFF by supporting them in spite of all the negativity that was going on within the organization. Did they forget about that?
Yeah, but here's the thing though. There has to be a balance, because at the end of the day, and this is the part where we not find. So yeah, you can control mainstream media a lot more, but the part about it is where when it goes overboard, no determined. Because again, when it goes overboard and you question people's livelihoods, why for the livelihoods? But you are question. So remember, say you have individuals where fine individuals can lose them job if them incompetent, etc., etc. But when it becomes some personal attacks, you get me? I said that is where I think the line is draft. But that me get from it, actually. That me get from it. But here's the thing though. I think maybe just like 5 more minutes and then round up this show, isn't it? But yeah, go through the thing.
All right, as I end on this, I think when it comes to the press conference, since I've been listening to it, I
Yeah.
haven't heard any shots against or anything personal. I think, as you said, it needs to be a balance because the independent media houses, they're very well informed about what's going on, about the players and also the organization, and they're so informed that some of the questions can make the coach uncomfortable, right? About players or about what's going on in the organization. If you look at the last press conference, it was very dull in a sense where it was stagnant. You had a lot of questions repeating themselves.
Yeah, but the
And
last press
it
conference,
just
the last
was,
press conference, hold on the term. Last press conference, there were more YouTubers there than mainstream media, by the way.
which one is there? Did another one happen? I'm talking about the one that you fumbled on.
Yeah, and
That
that's what I'm
press
saying. That
conference.
there were more YouTubers at that press conference than mainstream media.
Oh, there were. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I was just trying to clear that up. Basically, I just if Mr. Speed is listening, I just think we all need each other in this thing, right? And I think um, we iron sharpen iron, right? And I think the independent media houses, they're well informed, and we need to keep that balance in questioning, right? King, I appreciate everything that you do, and I appreciate Mr. Speed to come on your platform to have the courage to answer
Yeah.
any and every question to the best of his ability, right?
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.
Hey man, bless up yourself, determined, big up yourself. Done. Last saying, cause we are gonna run out the show right now. The last saying.
Yeah, right now. As I say, yo, the show going smooth tonight, bro. Big up Mr. Speed, I don't know. Big up Ballpree TV, big up Cranky for on the show and thing. Big up the fans them. You see me, cause the fans them come out and thing. Let's tune into tomorrow, man. Tomorrow, high energy, more positivity. Go under the ball of them page in upon the gram, upon every page, JFF page. Go send up some Jamaica flag, bro. Who they over here, that we need for go do, bro. Make the boys them know, say, yo, tomorrow the important game. Send up the Jamaican flag, them. Give the boy them something. Remember, it's a away game, you know. We have the social media. So I know at the time of use it, bro, and push the positive right now going into tomorrow. Cause remember, tomorrow is the most important game at this campaign. So go up on the gram. Who have Instagram, get it download on the phone and build a page. Send some nice comments. You see me? That we need for the right now. Share the thing them on the gram.
Straight. All right, big up yourself in the done. People, actually, this actually important notice.
Flashback, book back. I don't know, sir, Kyle Dixon represent for one Umbrella Sports. No, sir, Umbrella Sports have a big bad party after party. Upper Mecca, you don't know, say, October the 14th, after party, me I got there, Bows I got there, the whole team I got there, everything, no. Everything. I'm on.
Yeah, ball, I got there. The ball same, I got there. People have ready to get.
Bash, book back. I don't know, sir, Kyle Dixon represent for one Umbrella Sports. No, sir, Umbrella Sports have a big bad party after party. Upper Mecca, you don't know, say, October the 14th, after party, me I got there, Bows I got there, the whole team I got there, everything, no. Everything. I'm on.
People, when big up for yourself, people, big up for yourself. Thanks to everybody where there. People, to smash the like button, and we love the fact say we have so much people still there, but people who have run up the show now. Thanks for everybody for watching. Thank you, man. For my care, thank you enough people. And big up on yourself, the questions them. Everybody where have anything to say, and big up on yourself said with people. Until next time, you don't know it's your boy King, and I'm out.
Press my feelings, start my mind.
When Ballpree TV, big them up. Yes, sir, when they catch the family, big up Ballpree TV. Like, share, subscribe.
I don't know about Ballpree TV, we are big up, I don't know. Boom!
I go on Ballpree TV, you don't know how to think. Big up yourself every time.
Like, share, and subscribe to Ballpree TV.
I will tell them, say, Ballpree TV, I will tell them thirst is nothing. Zoom in for the diamond then.
Oh,
image
shit.
is everything. Obey your image. I will make them know. I've seen enough TV before, but I've never seen a TV like this. I've seen enough station before. Ballpree TV, the one you top the list. Room! Shizzle for cheesy. I didn't know big enough Ballpree TV would be so easy.